Last time on Square Roots, Tails and Robotnik further their bromance. Shadow finds a friend, and we go to space. Also, Knuckles has an existential crisis when he realizes his female counterpart is smarter, stronger, and more productive. Looks like he was the DEI all along. Dumb echidna imbecile!
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zant.
Is this a classic RPG podcast now because it's so old it's a classic? Or is it still just because we play classic RPGs?
That's a good question. I think once we used to have a 10-year rule but like the podcast is almost 10 years old, so
it's almost 9 years old.
It means we can start listening to episodes of our podcast for our podcast.
Oh, we should.
This is Square Roots Re-Listen podcast.
Also joined by Cronny Brandon.
Cronny?
Yeah, you fight Crons in this chapter.
Don't forget your special name for Vanessa this time.
Oh, what was it?
Bon V Vanessa.
Hi, it's me. I'm Vanessa. I'm a real Bon V Vanessa around town.
So Vanessa was trying to make me feel better about something, and she said that someone thinks I'm a real Bon Vivant.
Bon Vivant, man about town.
Vivant, man about town. Tell us more about Bon Vivant. What did you think? Where do you think it came from? The term Bon Vivant.
Obviously, it refers to a good life, and then Von refers to your Romanian heritage.
Oh, but it's not like a German thing, like von Derfenstag.
Surely it's like, Count von Dracula, the most famous Romanian.
It's occurring to me that this joke makes no sense without the context that she spelled it Bonvivon.
Also, I like that Vanessa did a subtle dig at Johnny by saying his German heritage.
I said Romanian!
You said, she said Romanian.
Johnny has a special kind of mustache that he's wearing tonight, and we're not going to make fun of him about it.
Wait, it's not Von Dracula, though.
I was wondering if you'd pick up on that.
Von Dracula.
I just want to give a heads up to our
Dracula's
listeners.
a real Bon Vivant.
I just want to give a heads up to our listeners. I apologize. Instead of buying my usual Thursday night beers, I got myself some gin and tonic, and I did not consider how annoying the clinky ice
No, it's like an ASMR thing.
in the glass was going to be, and I don't want Johnny to feel like he has to cut out all the ice sounds, so I'm just warning people now.
Wait, aren't you editing?
I don't think so.
Wait, who edited last week?
Jim did.
I did.
And I edited the week before, right?
Yeah, because we swapped weeks.
Yeah, so it's
I
a
was
Matt
in
week.
Denver.
Yeah, so Matt, don't feel pressured to cut out all
you
that.
Played yourself.
Let's see.
So is gin and tonic it, Matt? Is that what you have landed on as your beer substitute, or are you experimenting?
I'm experimenting, though. This is pretty good. It's actually a gin with some seltzer and a splash of lime, so it's not really a gin and tonic, but that's okay. I see Jim posted 454. Johnny posted 453. Fuck! My kids aren't home this weekend, so got plenty of time.
Does anyone have in their back pocket some hot gaming news that they'd like to share?
Yes.
John, do you have any in the back pocket
list
of your Hugo Boss pants?
How dare you? Okay, so
That's the last joke I'll make.
I have to explain. I shaved my face because I wanted to grow a beard. I'd been rocking the old timey saloon owner mustache. Like it's a mustache you can put on in Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think so.
But so I felt like a beard again. And the thing is, when my nose is stubbly, or no, when my upper lip is stubbly, I have a deep philtrum that has a dark shadow, and it's pretty wide. And it does look like I have a Charlie Chaplin mustache.
That's being extremely generous. I can see that you have a full stash, but it's like everything's gray white except for right under your nose where there's some color.
Yeah.
And it is giving the optical illusion that you're about to turn around and do a heart salute.
Ooh,
okay, Elon?
Johnny looks like a skinhead.
Yeah, heart salute is the American conservative whitewashing of the fucking Sieg Heil that we're going through right now in this existential crisis that is the United States of America today.
Elon went on Joe Rogan and said he's not a Nazi, so...
Oh, so the dumbest man on the planet talked to the biggest fucking scumbag on Earth? Weird, I bet it was a real honest conversation.
Yeah.
Moving on. Who wants to talk about hot gaming news?
I do.
We all do. Vanessa
We
said
all
she
do.
did first, though.
Yeah, I get to go first.
She's going to be mean about
when-
this, and I'm excited. Let's fight.
Remember when we played Disco Elysium, the sort of great game about post-consumer capitalism and socialism versus fascism and depression and existential crises and friendships and letting go of the past, that game?
Yeah.
It was really adult and mature, and we all kind of enjoyed how they used this isometric gameplay to convey these extremely heavy themes.
Yes.
Well, they're releasing a mobile port intended to captivate the TikTok user.
Good.
Oh.
That's a great
I
idea.
can't wait till all the kids are posting their TikToks about Disco Elysium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is it different?
Well,
It's in portrait mode, and you swipe through the dialogue.
Oh, okay.
Dennis Havel, the ZAUM head, said, "We intend to captivate the TikTok user with quick hits of compelling story, art, and audio, ultimately creating an all-new, deeply engaging form of entertainment."
Have you guys heard about all the drama that happened in that studio with the guys that made Disco Elysium?
Uh-uh.
Oh my god, no. Tell us the hot goss.
I don't remember the specifics, but there was a big split with the I think it's 2 or 3 guys that headed the studio, and one of them ultimately left over disagreements that happened post Disco Elysium release, and I think there was some contention around who should own the property.
Well, they said that their departure was involuntary, and the studio was like, no, it wasn't. They wanted to go. They liked it.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was the lead writer and designer and the design lead.
That's
and
right.
another writer.
Whoa. Well, I think it sounds neat, and I think that bringing it to a wider audience is a great idea, and I wish them the best of luck.
Yeah,
A
let's
wider
plant some
audience,
seeds.
Matt?
Let's plant the seeds of anti-capitalist sentiment in our youth. I'm all for that.
I agree, actually.
Wait, Jim, you're pro anti-capitalist sentiment?
Yes.
Andy Cap. You want everyone to be like Andy Cap, a wife abuser and a drunk?
and Andy Cap.
John is trying so hard to sling disparaging remarks towards us.
He is.
So that we'll stop talking about his Hitler stash.
It's like when you get made fun of for being fat in grade school, and you try to redirect the bullying to another fat kid, and you're like, "Oh, look at that fat kid."
I did that. I felt very bad about it later.
We
I
all
think
feel
every
bad
kid
about
does
it.
that
We
when
all
they get
hate
bullied.
our internalized fat phobia and misogyny.
Yeah.
It's true.
I never said I hated my misogyny.
So apparently Sony showed off their amazing new AI chatbot feature today. This is according to GameSpot, with an amazing presentation where an AI alloy was talking to the head of technology, a director at Sony Interactive Entertainment, Sharwin Raghobardajal, apparently, she sounds like. Here's what the GameSpot article says, and I love it. Certainly, Alloy says, replying to Raghope Bardajal's request for info with all the well-acted information of a TikTok text-to-speech video, I discovered I'm a clone of Dr. Elizabeth Sobek, which allowed me to understand my purpose and origins.
Wow. You know, it's funny because isn't the cause of the end of the world in that series like an AI gone rogue that obliterates humanity?
More or less, yeah.
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 It was like, it was AI robots,
It was
right?
AI nanobots, right?
It was
Yeah.
a really great demo. Everyone liked it. Everyone has always said that the problem with video game voice acting is that it's too emotive, too emotional, too human, too nuanced. And what we want is just the straight information, completely mispronounced. I forget what I tried to watch today. I turned on some YouTube video and it was like AI narrated. Oh, instead of it was about like bowing, but instead of bow, they said bow because like the AI can't determine which word it is. So it was like
They don't understand
why does
context.
Taylor Swift take a big bow at the end of her concert?
Oh my god, that's so dumb.
But it's just like it's even without the mispronunciation. I find those voices unlistenable for more than like 5 seconds because
Yeah, me too. I can't stand those AI. Like,
there's just
those-
nothing there.
Let's
Yeah.
be careful what we say that we're going to put out on the internet because the AI will come for you first.
It's okay. Take me.
I would also like the AI to take me, but in a way where I want it to fall in love with me. And I don't see why it wouldn't, because, you know, all of my stuff is out there on the internet, and I've always believed that if people could only see the real me, they would love me, like, in an uncontrollable, uncomfortable way. That
I
would
like to
Well, you
think
should
that.
get-
I like to think that if an AI tried to take me, that I could convince it to make me stronger, like in Lawnmower Man, and then I could be a cyber guy who can turn people into marbles, like the guy in that movie.
Once you had marble people, what would you do with them?
You just turn them into marbles to kill them in a cool way.
No, I would put them through a marble run. I think it would be really fun and funny.
Wait, I don't think I've watched that. How does he turn someone into a marble?
He becomes like a psychic cyber god guy, and there's a scene where he's like projecting his face, his 3-dimensional face in front of his house, or Pierce Brosnan's house, I think. And these guys with guns run up, and he just looks at them, and they turn into marbles.
How does that?
I don't know, man.
They're not in virtual reality.
I don't know. He turns them into marbles. He can affect actual reality because he's so powerful.
That movie
How
sounds
does-
stupid.
It's pretty awesome.
Remember the Stephen King story it's based on about the killer guy with the lawnmower?
It wasn't. It was a guy who hired a lawn mowing service, but the one rule is you're not supposed to like look outside when they're mowing your lawn. And he looks outside and he sees the god Pan, the like goat guy, eating the grass in his yard, and then he dies, I think.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay,
Yeah, that's what
I'm
happened.
mixing it up
and
with a
then
different.
they adapted that story into a story about a guy with a learning
Intellectual-
disability
yeah.
who Pierce Brosnan makes do virtual reality, and it turns him into a super genius who can turn people into marbles.
I don't immediately see the connection. But I do like the message that men shouldn't mess with Pan. That's just for women.
Do women like Pan?
Women love Pan, and the deal with Pan is like, if you're a lady and you're hanging out with Dionysus and Pan, then you can become like totally into the bacchanal and run through the woods and tear men apart. Is what happens. So men really shouldn't go around that kind of stuff, but for women, it's mostly fine.
I have some hot gaming news. Remember how we're doing the
What
hot
is it?
gaming news segment?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about.
Teenage Mutant
Yeah, hot
Ninja
gaming
Turtles Tactical
Marble Madness.
Takedown got a release date. It's coming to PC on May 22nd. Whoa.
Don't forget, from the developers of...
I didn't hear what you said.
I forgot.
From the developers of Clickholding, your favorite game of last
I
year.
did forgot now.
Did you say for Gort?
Yeah, it's gonna be like Michelangelo nunchucking, and it's like, chuck your nuns 1,000 times.
I know that you corrected yourself, but I just want to say, Michaelogical, great name, actually. That's fun.
Yeah, that
It
is a
is,
pretty
It's a
cool
fun
name.
play. It's like a
Michaelogical.
robot turtle, maybe, or like a robot.
That would be a cool name for a
AI
rapper.
Artist. Ooh,
Or
a
like a
good rapper
DJ.
name.
I'm
Michaelogical.
DJ Michaelogical.
I love
I
it.
think that should be your name
Yeah.
after you become a cyborg god, Jim.
Oh yeah, when I get
Michaelogical.
Yeah.
where's Pierce Brosnan? I'll jump in that VR thing right now.
He's dead, Jim.
He's not dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Pierce
He
Brosnan
is
is not dead.
You're just going to have to
Gonna
trust
I have
me on this
some-
in
one.
the upcoming film version of Thursday Murder Club, the popular Richard Osman book.
He's
That'll be his last release.
more
movie.
handsome than ever as a silver fox. Have you seen Pierce Brosnan lately? He is beautiful. Oh, you have the book.
Yeah, I got the book. I got
Is
Whoa.
Richard
Murder
Osman
Club
from
right here.
Taskmaster?
Oh, Taskmaster. Hang on. Give me a second.
Vanessa,
What?
is that the guy
Yeah, I
from the
got
tall
that
guy?
book too.
No,
An absolute casserole.
That's a cookbook,
But wait.
Vanessa.
Vanessa.
Is it a cookbook?
Yes.
Isn't
Johnny.
Richard
Oh.
Osman the tall guy on Taskmaster with glasses?
You
Yeah, that
tell
guy.
me.
That is the tall guy with glasses from Where's that Jim Banks? It's hard to tell. It's one of the two.
This book was either written by Richard Osman or Jim Banks, and we don't know which one.
He does not have the hair that I have.
That's true.
But you
I
don't have
think
the
he's-
height that he has.
How tall is he?
I think he's like 6'6", something like that.
Oh wow, I ain't that tall. I have some hot gaming news too. Oh, wait, I
Me
have
too.
a question about the Ninja Turtles game real fast.
Oh, okay.
Is this a tactics game like StarCraft, like a real time strategy, or is this like a tactical game like XCOM?
I think it's like a Midnight Suns or an XCOM.
Oh, okay, that's what I was thinking. Whoa, 6'7". Look at this absolute unit of a peanut butter cup.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Do you ever eat one of those 1 pound peanut butter cups they have around Christmas?
No.
They're amazing,
How
but
could
you
you,
drool
though?
so much eating them.
What?
I don't know. Like, I'm drooling like Matt drinking a soda. Like, I don't know why. Like, they're so big. You have to open your
Excuse
mouth
me?
really.
Are you
Because of all the
talking
backwash
about,
you get in
like,
your sodas.
when they want to make a movie where a dog talks and they put peanut butter on the roof of its mouth? Is it that kind of situation?
I think it's a little salty, so it makes my mouth water.
Isn't that
But
what
it's
they
really
did
good.
with Mr. Ed when
Yeah.
they needed Mr. Ed's like
Yeah.
lips to move?
Well, that I think they
put
drugged him a
peanut
lot and probably shot him.
butter. Yeah, they probably beat him.
Can we have a quick aside here? What is the superior peanut butter and chocolate delivery method? Because I posit that the cup is the least superior version.
What
Oh, are you
is
saying
the-
pieces
what
are
is
better?
what is the superior version then?
Pieces are amazing, but what about the egg?
Oh.
What
I've never
about
had
the
a Reese's
weird
egg.
bats and stuff you get during Halloween?
There's a super vivid rainbow right now. It's like crazy bright.
All right, well,
Take a
Johnny's
picture
high.
of it for us.
I will.
I think the best thing to do with peanut butter and chocolate is that you take your peanut butter, right? You got a jar of peanut butter. You take your chocolate. Maybe you have like a chocolate bar. You put
This
the
is like
jar
those
of peanut
commercials.
butter
That is fucking wrong.
on a pantry shelf. You open your chocolate bar and you eat the chocolate bar.
See, now, typically I would agree with you because I think that Reese's peanut butter cups are trash. But
You're fucking wrong. You're
I
just
would
straight up
like you all
wrong.
to go out today or tomorrow or this weekend and get yourself a peanut butter egg because they're awesome.
I guess it is Easter time.
All right, there's so much hot gaming news
I
this
know,
week.
we
though.
have barely scratched the surface.
Like,
I think we're going through
there,
at a good clip.
We're
The
not.
Vanessa,
We're
there
doing a
is-
terrible job at reading the headlines.
there is a rumor in the next couple of weeks we could be getting An Oblivion remaster.
I saw
Fucking give me a
that.
break.
That
Yeah,
sounds
they're gonna
pretty
stealth
cool.
drop an Oblivion remake. Come on.
Why
They
wouldn't
might.
they? Why shouldn't they? They could.
They stealth drop a Skyrim port like every 6 months. So
It's true, but they
It's not the
changed
same
like
thing
they
as a
add
remake, dude.
They add fishing, and that's about it to the last Skyrim port. But I'm excited about that. That
I
would be
love the
amazing.
idea.
I love
I
Oblivion.
love the idea of an Oblivion remake, but I think at most you're getting an announcement, and then 10 years from now we'll get a game.
I don't know.
All right.
It could be a
I'll bet you
stealth drop with
$10,
the Shivering
Matt.
Isles and all.
Matt, $10 says Oblivion comes out before June.
Ooh.
The Oblivion
American
remake.
dollars.
The Oblivion,
Oblivion
remake comes out before June. The unannounced Oblivion remake.
Yes.
Okay. Handshake.
All right.
They shook on it. This is exciting. Johnny's going to have $10 from Matt. I'm going to have $10 from Jim. You can do it for like ice cream, Johnny. It'll be amazing.
Ooh, that'd be great.
buy,
10
buy a
US
big
dollars,
peanut butter
yeah.
cup with it.
Josie's on vacation far
Far
away.
away.
Thanks for bringing that up, Matt. I did want to do my 5 minutes on that song.
Wait! I was
Let's
gonna
break down the
read another
lyrics.
hot gaming news headline.
New Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
New. Well, this is not. It's not an announcement of the game because they announced it last year, but they did release a full-on like trailer for it today.
And you said it looked like cheap shit.
No, I think the trailer looks good, but I think they did what they're calling a Silent Hill transmission, which is like basically a Nintendo Direct that Konami does about Silent Hill. But I thought it looked super low budget. It was just 3 Japanese guys standing in front of a green screen, and they would be like, "Tell us about the game," and then the green screen would change to a different like Silent Hill backdrop and be like, "Wow, we're in a totally new environment," and it looked super low budget and weird.
Oh man, Johnny's Rainbow's amazing.
It is very vibrant.
It's
They also didn't
beautiful.
even announce a release date for the game, so like, why even do it?
Vanessa,
Why do you... Yeah.
Why?
I thought until now, I don't want to lose your love tonight. That's what I thought he was saying.
Is that not what he's saying?
No.
No. What is he saying? And let's talk about it.
Well, let's start at the beginning.
Okay. Josie
Josie's
went on
on
vacation.
a vacation far away. Fine. Good for her. Come around and talk it over. I'm a little bit suspect. I don't know the singer's
Okay.
relationship
I don't know
to Josie.
that we can allow
and
you
I
to just
don't know.
repeat
No,
the
no,
same
I'm-
joke you made in
Matt,
the fucking
it's,
chat
it's
today.
a tight 5,
Oh,
and I
okay.
think
That was
Vanessa's
my workshopping,
earned.
and now I'm ready to present my material. So come around and talk it over. I'll come. I'm a little bit questioning. Next line. So many things I'd like to say. Acceptable. You asked me to come over to talk. I assume you have a lot of things to say. I'm ready to hear them. Next line. This
You
is the
know
fourth
I like my
line in this
girls
song.
a little bit older.
Yeah. What? What is that? What is that?
Older than
Where is
his
this coming from?
girlfriend? Is
Is
that
it
what
older
he's
than
saying?
Josie? Is it older
Yeah.
than...
He never
Older
said
than
he's
what?
dating
Older than
Josie. He
him?
just said she's on vacation. Josie
Then
could be his
why
sister.
Does it matter that she's on vacation? Josie
Maybe
could be
Josie's
his
his
mother.
mom.
Josie could be his mom too.
Maybe Josie's his mom and you're the babysitter. And that's why he's like into older women.
He just wants to use your love tonight.
It's
Yeah.
use your love. I always thought it was
Yeah.
lose your love.
What does that
It's
mean?
I just want to
both.
use your love tonight, and I don't want to lose your love tonight.
Maybe love is a euphemism for vagina.
It definitely is, because every song I
We're
think written
stepping
before
on her tight
1990.
5.
Oh,
I'm sure
sorry.
Vanessa-
That's over. Does she
Vanessa's-
have more?
I thought we were
Yes, she
riffing.
has more.
All right.
No, I don't have any more. That was it.
Oh.
On a vacation.
So, does he mean
My
vagina,
wife
Vanessa?
has gone on
Is
a
love
trip.
a euphemism
Verse
for
2.
a
I
vagina?
ain't got many
Vagina
friends left to talk to,
over.
nowhere to run when I'm in trouble. You know I'd do anything for you. Stay the night, but keep it undercover.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing. He's saying, come over, stay the night, don't tell anyone, don't tell Josie, just bring your old ass vagina over here and let me use it.
How old is this guy?
We don't know.
Judging from the music video that Jim posted when she started talking about it, he is about 8 years old.
He looks like, I said in the group chat, he looks like a 10-year-old cosplaying as an adult. Like maybe a 10-year-old kid trying to do a Steve Guttenberg impression.
I actually asked that question to my dad once. I was like, Dad, why is it that every song that your generation loved was just about sex? Every single song. Like, were you the horniest generation? Explain it to me. Because it makes me
Which
uncomfortable.
generation did Wet Ass Pussy as like a big summer single?
Now your dad's generation is a generation trying to ban books from kids' libraries. So.
Yeah, that's actually a misconception. Boomers voted less conservative in this last election than they have in years.
Wow.
It was our generation that elected Trump, Jim, and Gen X.
Jim, did you watch the trailer to Death Stranding 2 on the beach?
I did. It looks really fucking batshit insane.
Could you explain what happens in the
No.
trailer?
No.
Like, could you talk us through
I
that
watched it
trailer?
and I watched it and I was like, that looks fucking stupid. And then I thought about it for a while when I was watching TV and I was like, the only thing that sticks out of my memory from that is it Higgs, Troy Baker's character? In the announcement trailer, he was like playing a guitar that shoots lightning, and then in the new trailer, he's shown with a tentacle coming out of his mouth. I was like, what the fuck
I saw
is going
that.
on?
I haven't seen the trailer yet, but that part sounded interesting.
Yeah, and apparently, I saw a tweet about it, and they said like the first Death Stranding was about America is dead, let's build a new America, and they said the theme seemingly of Death Stranding 2 is we can't rebuild a new America until we kill the old America inside of us, which sounds pretty cool.
I'm just watching it without sound. And that's not Conan O'Brien, right? The guy at the desk?
No,
Because he was in the first game.
He was.
For some
I
reason.
don't want to play any video games that don't have Conan O'Brien in it. That's just how I feel.
It's true. He went to Japan to film it, and there's a great... I don't know if you saw the video of him rewatching that. He's like, I bombed. I bombed that
it's
scene.
really funny. He's like, why
did
would
they go
anybody
with that
play
take?
this? I did a terrible job.
Oh, I'm sure it was an adequate job.
Any more
who's
hot
this
gaming
main
news?
guy?
There's some more hot gaming news. Prince of Persia, the most recent like side-scrolling Prince of Persia, is hitting PS Plus.
That's I want to play that.
The
I
next
wanna play
round of
that for
games.
sure.
Yeah, that's exciting. And they also just announced Warhammer 40K Space Marine 3, which I don't know that any of you guys have ever played the Space Marine games, but 1 was
Sure
okay.
haven't.
2 is fantastic. It looks incredible and it plays really well and the story is cool and it all just works. So I'm excited for number 3.
Whoa, Space Marine 3. I have not played them. I really wanted to play both of them, and I kind of never got around to them.
I'd say you
Hit
can
Game Pass,
skip.
please.
You can skip the first one, but the second one is good times all around.
That's cool. Yeah, I need to play that. Also, that Prince of Persia, I think, is not the newest one. Is it the Lost Crown? The newest one is Rogue.
Rogue Prince,
Rogue
Galaxy.
Rogue the Bat.
The Lost Crown is the new one. Anyway, yeah, the Lost Crown, which looks really good, and I really wanted to play, but not spend $40 on because I'm cheap. But there was the Rogue Prince of Persia was the name of that one, and it is like in early access. But the Lost Crown is the one that's coming to PlayStation Plus, and I'm really excited. I really wanted to play it, and now I have the opportunity to do so. The prince is on vacation far away.
Wait, did you say Toonses?
Toons is a driving dog?
Cat.
Oh, it's a dog. Toons is a dog.
Did you just say dog?
Toonses the driving cat.
Oh, it
he
is a
drives
cat.
around
Famously a cat.
Yeah, you're right.
all over the town. It's Toonses the driving cat. And I love for that they use a real cat's head with fake cat paws driving the steering wheel.
Oh, Toonses.
How
John?
do you think that Porky would do in a Toonses situation? Like, would she tolerate being puppeted in that way?
No, she does not like having her mobility restricted in any way.
Time to plug the streams.
Yay!
Vanessa, plug our streams.
Hooray. Okay, on Wednesday night, maybe it's around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, you're sitting around, you don't have anything to do. You have nobody to laugh at or chat to. I know what to do. You turn on the Square Roots stream, and there you can find your favorite Square Roots friends. That's Jim, Matt, Johnny, and not me. I'm not your favorite. I'm nobody's favorite. Everyone knows it. So, you can enjoy them streaming a game every Wednesday night. They are
Hey, Vanessa?
about to... Yeah?
You're my favorite host.
Oh, thank you, Matt.
Aw.
Johnny,
Yeah.
you're my favorite host.
Oh, thank you.
I thought you were going to call on each of us to profess.
Considering how many times,
That is what I
considering
thought,
how many
too.
times Johnny has said that Jim is the funniest host, guess what I think Johnny's response to that is? And now,
Let's find
here's
out.
the twist. Jim, I think, would say that he is his own favorite host.
Yeah.
Matt gets left in the cold.
I'm the only host as far as I'm concerned.
Plug the stream.
Yeah, I was doing that. Okay. So they're about to finish up Kingdom Hearts 2. And then the plan was that Johnny would stream, but here's some late breaking news that not even Johnny knows. Vanessa wants to stream a game.
She's going to
What?
stream Harvester.
Wow.
I have a dream of streaming a little shorty that will only take like 1 or 2 weeks, and I thought maybe I could squeeze it in before
Yeah, sure.
you launch your long stream, Johnny. Especially because you've been busy on Wednesday nights. It might give you a little bit more breathing space, although I think you'd really enjoy what I have in mind, so maybe you'd want to join for it.
What
Launch
game
your
is it?
long stream sounds like you're about to take like you've been holding your pee in a long time and you're about to really
Yeah, I watch
just
a
have
long
real
stream at about 4
gratifying
a.m.
pee.
every night.
That happened to me once. I don't know why, but I did have a friend who was in the next stall, and she did start laughing at how long I was peeing. And that was an interesting experience.
Huh.
Tell us the game already, Vanessa. Quit
I
holding
won't
out.
tell you. I'm not going to tell anyone. It is my little secret.
Will you tell me in private?
Yeah.
Okay.
She just wants me to send her a private message on Google Chats asking what the game is, and then she's not going to tell me. I know. I know Vanessa well enough to know when I'm about to be tricked.
Anyway, Johnny also has a stream.
He has a
I
YouTube
do,
channel.
and I'm working
YouTube
on
channel,
my new
excuse me.
YouTube channel video. It's going to be a little while because I'm still in the writing phase, which takes a little while for these big long, but it's the big long ones. They're Matt's favorite. Matt likes the super long ones. And this one's about Saints Row 2022. And Jim, my special friend, helped me capture footage. Mm-hmm. And I think that Jim's Rahul Kohli with giant knockers, maybe helped Jim come to some, thoughts, like it awakened things in him, right?
Yeah, there's been a lot of Rahul Kohli news in the last couple of weeks. We got the game that he's starring in. They just started doing marketing for The Life of Chuck, the new Mike Flanagan movie that he's also in.
Looks
He was already in a game.
Maybe
he
I
was
just-
in a Gears of War.
Yeah, Gears 4, right?
Well, I don't know. One of
I
them.
don't remember. But yeah, maybe I just had Kohli on the noggin. You were telling us about your channel, John?
Oh, yeah. So also right
Johnny's
now,
on a channel far
I'm
away.
trying. I'm trying
Come
to
around and
use
watch
the
it
YouTube.
over.
I'm using the YouTube promote
So many
feature.
games that he
which has got
wants to
me-
play.
So far, it has
You know,
cost
I
me
like
$2.
Likes his games a
Little
little
bit
bit older.
I
He
do. Jim, this might be of interest to you. So I promoted my video, the Simpson one, because that didn't get very many views. And I was like, this is a really good
Really?
video. I want more people to see it. Yeah.
It was real good.
So I put that one on a promotion thing with a budget of $50. So far, it's used $2 of that budget, and I have got 4 new subscribers. So what is for $2? So 50 cents per subscriber. How is that for an ad campaign, Jim Banks?
Pretty cheap. I mean, I've never run any subscriber based marketing, but if it's anything like doing like maybe a lead form ad, pretty inexpensive.
Yeah, it seems like that's not a bad deal. I mean, I know you could probably spend like $100 and get fake subscribers from some like Bitcoin-based website where they'll scam you and put malware. But these are real subscribers who have real feelings and thoughts. So that's great.
Now, Johnny, I accept
yes.
that they're real subscribers, but you can't just claim that they have real feelings and thoughts. Only like 20% of the population has those.
Johnny, you should try like
yuck.
a reverse psychology type marketing campaign for your channel where your thumbnails say you're gonna fucking hate this video, and then see if that or like you're never gonna subscribe to this channel after watching this Simpsons game content.
How about don't let your wife see you watching this video?
Why don't you hit that subscribe button? Are you afraid your wife's gonna see you?
Oh boy. Yeah, and then after that, I'm gonna play what's the game called? I'm playing that Cruncher, Scramper.
Snitcher.
I think he was calling it like Scrunchies or something. Matt had a nickname for
Matt's
the
like
name of the game.
texting or something.
Yeah, it's
Snitcher.
fine.
Did he fall asleep?
Matt-
No, I like my gin a little bit older. I'm just gonna drink this gin tonight.
Ooh, aged gin.
How was Johnny and Matt's harmony there,
I
Jim?
like my gin
sounded
a little
great.
bit
Thank
older.
you.
Matt, you should auto-tune it.
You guys asking me a
You should
question or
just
something? What do you
auto-tune
want?
the whole podcast.
So, Sonical Chronicles.
Whoa, it's Sonical time?
I think it's Sonical time. Are you ready for Sonical Chronicles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. I'm ready to
You
talk
had
about
45 minutes to get ready. Are you ready?
Chapter 7.
Wow, I don't think we've gone this deep into the episode before starting the quest log since we did our level ups at the top.
There was
Yeah,
a lot of
I
hot
think you're
gaming
right.
news that we really stayed on topic about.
Yeah,
It
we were
was.
very good and concentrating.
Also, this
I explained the plot of
chapter,
Lawnmower Man.
As
The
long
book
as
and the
this
short story.
chapter,
Or sorry, the movie and the short story.
as long as this chapter was to play, ain't a lot to talk
Yeah.
about.
I feel like this is kind of like a baby's first BioWare game. Like, it's sort of like they're making a BioWare game, but the BioWare game doesn't last very long, which is fine. You know, that's fine. I don't mind it. But it's like there's not a lot to these areas other than navigation, sort
Yeah.
of. Not even puzzles. You just have to switch, make sure you have the right characters in your party and all
Find
that.
some treasure chests, find some eggs, maybe do a side quest. There aren't side quests in every area. Anyway, Chapter 7, The Quest for the Chaos Emeralds. Whoa.
Wow.
There's all,
Johnny,
like,
do you
there's-
want to quarterback this with my notes, or would you like me to do it?
Oh, I can do it. It's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
So we land at the Kron colony, and then immediately we are visited by the Kron, which are like big. They're like big rock monsters, but not like the rock monsters, the Goron from Legend of Zelda. These are more like Shale from Dragon Age, except if Shale had a rotating sphere in her tummy, or their tummy, and launched these spheres as part of their attack.
I thought they looked like the I can't remember what they were called from Mass Effect, the big guys.
The Krogan?
The Krogan, yeah, they look like the Krogans, or really more than that, they look like fucking armadillos. And in my head, I was calling them alidillos.
Oh, is that what they're? It was very hard to figure out what they're supposed to look.
Why? I'm gonna
like.
put an image in the group chat. Why does he have like a rock codpiece?
Well, probably I think that's his dick. That's a dick. That's straight up a dick.
See that just looks like a golem to me. Like a golem with a spinny rock thing in the middle.
It
And
looks
the thing
kind
in the
of
middle
like
is not a rock. It's like an alien orb.
It looks kind of
okay.
like Gorak or whatever from Galaxy Quest, that rock monster that Tim Allen has to fight when he's on the alien planet.
Yeah.
What a great movie.
Why is there a naked Pringles guy in the chat? I didn't notice that before.
John, talking about images in the chat that are not relevant to what we're talking about right now makes for a difficult edit.
Hold on, I have a question. Does the Pringles guy have a name?
Yes,
Is he like Paul
Julius
Pringles?
A little bit of nude Pringle
Julius
guy
His
at
name
work.
is Julius Pringles.
Is that true?
Matt,
It
I
is
made
true,
that
and
joke
it's-
at work. Wait, what? Julius Pringles?
Yeah, his name is Julius Pringles because someone once edited the Wikipedia to say Julius Pringles as a joke, and then it just caught on. People were like, that should be his name.
Huh. I don't like his armpit hair matching
it's true.
his.
It says in February 2007, another Wikipedia. Hold on. Today's certain Wikipedia page. Hold on. In February 2007, another Wikipedia user removed the name Michael and Justin made up, but Michael and Justin re-added it. Michael and Justin, I guess, are the guys who called him Julius Pringles. Oh, hold on. In 2006, they created the name Julius Pringles. Justin was eating a can of Pringles sour cream and onion, and Michael was watching a Carolina Panthers game when Justin asked Michael what he thought the Pringles mascot was called, just like I just did. At
Yeah.
that moment, player Julius Peppers came into the picture, causing Michael to link and reply
enough.
with Julius
Enough.
Pringles.
I refuse. This is nobody cares. This is the stupidest shit on earth. We
Jeez,
start
Why does
off
he
landing
have-
at the Kron
asked his
colony,
name.
and we have to fight a stupid fucking Kron with their stupid fucking armor. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can only do 1 damage to them per million hits.
Well, that's not true. What if you have a lot of armor-piercing moves, like Chaos Sphere, or not the kicky one.
Uppercut from Knuckles does
uppercut.
is an armor piercer. I know that the
There's a
robot
combo
guy,
move.
Ed220, whatever his name is, has one.
Oh yeah, Beam the robot
I
Omega
know
123.
I know that Sonic and Amy have an attack called like Hammer, where she like bashes him into the enemy 3 times.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
if
used
that's
that one.
armor piercing, but it does a fuckload of damage either way.
It does,
has
that one is armor piercing. What's it
quickly
called, Vanessa?
become my go-to
Windfall?
move.
I think it's called Fastball.
Fastball, yes.
That's it. Yeah. Does
I
she
have
hit
to
Sonic with her
admit-
hammer?
Yeah, she does. He turns into a ball and then she smacks him 3 times.
Ooh.
I have to admit, this is when I finally had to get good, ladies and gentlemen. And I
I
did.
didn't have to because something happened to me, and I don't know why or how.
What happened?
Well,
God
you know how
smiled
you
upon
like
you?
go around collecting
You
little
picked a
eggs?
4-leaf clover.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I opened my eggs, and I didn't save scum or anything. I had a whole bunch, and then I got 2 more Ferrexes. So,
Yeah, Vanessa had answered my question before where I thought if it was a unique, because that's a unique chow. I thought if
Yeah.
you got a unique chow, it was only 1, but Vanessa's like, no, I got 3 of them.
I got 3 of them. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know if the one I had multiplied because I used him a lot, and if that's a thing that happens in the game, or if I just found 2 other ones. But now I just always have Ferox on 3 of my 4 party members, and Amy's Blow Kiss, which is more or less all I use for her, is easy. So,
Yeah, it's the best. I use it all the time.
I never miss a combo. I never miss. I can't lose.
I'm gonna. Well, I've already got 2 because I just randomly got a second one. I did save scum a little bit, but not much to get a second one. But I think
did not get a second one, and I did it, and okay.
Sorry, Matt.
No, it's not
You
sorry.
still have to try to be a little good to like counter enemy attacks.
I didn't need a second one. I got good, but I'll never get good at Cream or Tails' moves. So I use Ferox for them. But otherwise,
I'm swapping Ferox between now, like all the chows, because there's another chow I have that refreshes the party like 50 hit points per turn. So I have that one on Amy, and then I have Cream has Ferox, and Sonic has
50 hit points a turn. 50 hit points?
Something like that.
Okay. I was thinking PP.
No, not PP. Just hit points, but still, it's useful because basically I never have to heal, and I always and I'm using Cream to always refresh, or sometimes I'll use her to do the like discombobulate move she has, or disempower. That's pretty useful as well.
I think a missed opportunity in
God,
this game
Vanessa,
is
what is going on?
What is she doing? Vanessa, you're distracting us from talking about Sonic.
I think she is eating flowers, which is, I believe, something that
is
the Fae
a piece
do.
of paper.
It's a Ricola wrapper.
Oh,
You know how many hands that aren't yours have probably touched that wrapper?
Like maybe 2. Like
100?
one in the factory to put it
1,000?
in the bag, and then mine. No, wait,
it's probably a
just one,
robot
that's
that puts
not
it in the
mine. It
bag.
probably is a robot that puts it.
Have
in
you
the bag.
watched how it gets made?
How it's made? I like that show.
Me too. I
It's
I
good.
like that. For
Isn't
me,
that
it's a
hosted
lady.
by that douchey conservative guy?
Yeah, well, I was about to say, for me, it's a Canadian lady who says everything in metric, and for you guys, it's some asshole.
Yeah,
Who is the guy that does How It's Made in the U.S.?
I think his name is
I know.
Joe Rogan.
It's
Oh.
not
Is it?
Joe Rogan.
No.
It's not Joe Rogan. They
Is
could
it
not
Dan
afford
Bongino?
Joe Rogan. It's that guy who does Buzz Lightyear and Tim Allen.
Tim Allen? It's not Tim Allen.
No.
Talking about famous conservatives. It's Mel Gibson.
He's
You can't just
Australian.
name every conservative and say that they host How It's Made.
It's
Chris Pratt.
It's Brooks
Jordan
Moore.
Peterson.
Brooks Moore.
No, it wouldn't be Jordan Peterson. He'd be hosting the Canadian version because he's Canadian.
No,
And then
in
it'd
the
be
Canadian version, Mark Tewksbury did it in season 1, and then
what?
Lynn
Mark
Herzog.
Tewksbury?
Yeah,
The Olympic? What was he, a diver?
I
Or
don't
was he a
know.
figure skater? He was an Olympian for sure.
Those are basically the same thing, right?
Yeah,
He was like a skater or a diver. One of the gay ones.
That's basically all of them, right?
No, I guess there is a gay shot putter, and there have been gay weightlifters.
Chapter 7. The quest
So,
chaos and
so
romance.
we are in this big orange rock world, and it's full of rockmen. And you talk to one guy, and they're like, "Oh, you're with Lord Ix," and
Lord
we're like,
Xenu?
"Nope." We're totally not. And he's like, "Oh, well, you should talk to our leader, and then maybe we'll be friends with you." However, no one else is going to listen to me right now, so all my friends are going to attack you, and they all have 400 hit points, and they all have armor, so it's going to take you like 5 rounds to kill them.
Yeah, basically every fight's going to take 30 minutes. You're going to hate it. You're going to hate it so much.
Especially every round watching Cream slowly dance for you. I hope you dance.
I do basically just use her as a PP refresher, you know?
Yeah, you do.
So here's how my typical combat turn goes is that Sonic attacks first, and then usually Amy blows him a kiss, and And then Cream comes out and she refreshes Sonic's pee-pee.
Don't ever say you use a woman as a pee-pee refresher. What are you talking about?
That's what happens in this game, Vanessa. I didn't write it. I didn't make this game.
No.
Cream,
Vanessa,
the child's animal monster, refreshes
It's the song I hope
Sonic's
you dance.
pee-pee after Amy blows him. Okay.
Sorry,
It's the
John,
song
could
I
you
hope-
repeat that question?
It's the song I Hope You Dance about someone whose boyfriend left them for another woman and she's like, well, I hope you guys are nice. Or is it where she breaks up with someone and she's like, I hope you get a new girlfriend who's better for you and you're happy? Which is it?
This feels like the type of question that could be positive, that could be asked in the group chat, not during recording.
No, I think it's really, I think our listeners are wanting Vanessa's guidance on
They
this.
want to know. What I have to admit is that I have never paid that close attention to the lyrics to I Hope You Dance. I don't think it is a nice song to listen to. It was on the radio
It's
a lot at
not
a certain
great.
point, and I'm happy that it's not anymore.
I was in, I think maybe junior high or high school when that song was a thing, and it was like everyone's graduation song for like kids that were a little older than me.
But it's
That was
definitely a
like-
breakup song, right?
You know I like my
No,
kids
it
a
was
little
about.
bit
It's about.
older.
It's a song about YOLO.
Yeah, just
Oh.
living your life and having a good time.
Yeah.
I thought it was
I,
about a breakup.
I knew this guy who was a DJ in the 80s, and his, like, whatever town he was in, the graduating class decided that they wanted their graduation song to be Life Goes On by John Mellencamp, and he was like, why are these kids wanting this song to be their anthem for how things are going to go?
That's the one that's like, life goes on, and so do we. But how
No,
you
it's-
do it is no mystery. Wah, wah,
Life
wah.
goes on long after the thrill of living is gone.
Oh, wow.
Little G about Jack and Diane.
Kids are dumb. Is this worth discussing right now? Chapter
Yes.
7.
All right. So we now need to go talk to these Krons. Rouge is in the ship and she's like, oh, honey, I don't know if you know about these ancient, what are they called? Nocturnus artifacts. But if you find one of those artifacts, sweetie, why don't you go pick one up for old Rougie here? Mm-hmm.
It's great. This is well worth your time. You really need another
Well
help
worth all of our time.
Every quest you do, the reward is always like a POW drink or a health root or some cool beans.
Yeah, this game feels like it thought it was supposed to have side quests, so it put them in, but didn't ever consider whether or not they would be good or worth it or interesting.
I want cool Sonic weapons. I want like chaos gloves and murder gloves. I mean, I guess there are lucky gloves. There's a couple of different gloves, but it
I have
just
some
doesn't
cursed
feel...
gloves. That's cool.
Yeah, did you put those on? Are they good?
Yeah, because they do a hit to your attack, but your actual damage output is higher. Remember, I said this last week that attack
Yeah.
and like damage are not the same thing
So why are they cursed?
because they lower your attack and defense. But your attack and your defense aren't really your attack and your defense. Because this game is dumb as fuck.
So you got to kill these Krons, and you're going to find chests with pieces. And some of these pieces are the Nocturnus artifacts, and some of them are like ancient, what do you call those? Stone tablets sort of things?
Those are different. That's a kind of a different thing that happens
Yeah.
later when you start finding the tablets. You're talking about Nestor. We find this cave, and inside is a kid named Nestor. And Knuckles is like, holy shit, it's the famous historian from the distant past, Nestor. Because somehow these people are like alive, even though they're super old. I guess because they're in
And
the Twilight
he
Cage
wants
or
us-
whatever.
He does give you lore every time you give him one of those tablets. Like, you find out, he's like, every time he's like, oh, this is more about our history. It says that we were all of these warrior races were collected together. And this is sort of the Twilight Cage I always thought was a prison, but maybe it's something more. I haven't finished that quest yet. But have a pow
I'm really
drink.
interested in this lore. I really want to know more about how the echidnas got into space and why
The
they
Twilight
live in
Cage.
space.
Well, it didn't. They got all of these races got like zapped here, basically. Mm-hmm. So, I have a question. Like, this Knuckles Last of the Echidna stuff was just a real pack of bullshit, huh?
Yep.
We're just finding
It
them left and
was.
right. What?
Oh,
else
it
could
turns
Knuckles
out
be
that
lying about.
Knuckles the Last Echidna was just a bunch of lies.
Does he even have knuckles? Do you think?
No.
He does. You see his big hands and his gloves.
Those are
like
spikes.
His Mickey Mouse gloves.
He's got Mickey Mouse gloves. I think he might just have like spikes under there.
I've heard. Okay, I don't know if you think this is true or not. I've heard that Mickey Mouse was a representation of a minstrel character because of his white lips and his white gloves. I don't know if that's true. And I'm curious what you think. This is definitely something we should talk about. Oh, no. You know what? Matt, cut this.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Well, I
No,
deserve that,
I'm
Matt.
done with cutting things.
Yeah, you're right.
I've never seen a
like,
Sonic movie, and I went to the movies this weekend, and before the movie they had like Sonic and Tails and Knuckles talking about silencing your cell phone or whatever. It was the first time I'd heard the Knuckles voice, and I didn't care for it.
It's Idris Elba. What do you mean you didn't
I
fucking
know.
care for it, racist?
I know, there was something odd about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can't have this fantasy character portrayed by a black man, right, Vanessa?
Well, I
Here
think it
comes
was more
Rachel
that-
Slurs.
As I recall, and perhaps I'm wrong, I don't think he was using his actual accent. I think he was maybe doing like an American voice.
Yeah, he does that all
Didn't
the
care
time.
for it. Didn't care for it.
He does it in most of his movies, Vanessa.
Well,
I think he uses
doesn't do it
American
in most of
accent
his
in
life
The
because
Office,
he's a British
right?
man. Well, I don't watch The Office now, do I?
I actually don't know if you watch The Office or not.
Oh, okay.
I never
I
made
watched
that
The
assumption.
Office.
Yeah, remember the last season where he was the boss?
That wasn't
No.
the last season. The one where Idris Elba was the boss, that was season 4, brother.
No,
Oh.
no way.
Yeah.
When did it
Michael,
have
that was a
Will
Michael Scott
Ferrell as
Paper
the
Company
boss?
arc. Season 4, I think.
All right, I swear to God. So Nestor wants us to collect these Nocturne relics for him, so we can like decorate his cave, I guess. Which, why don't you move out of this cave, my friend? But whatever. The rewards are fucking like hilariously bad, as Vanessa said. It's like you get a soda. Cool. That's worth
Pow candy.
flying across the galaxy and running through this gauntlet of enemies for.
Is he called Nestor because he's nesting by decorating his cave?
It's a good question, and
Sure.
I assume so. Yeah. Yep.
That's
So
deep.
the Kron
That's very
are like,
literary.
hey, we don't want to be slaves, so talk to King Kron and help us.
Grab the
there's
Kron.
they're being used as slave labor. So could you go take down the shield generator at the factory? And then there's a puzzle, and the puzzle is this one I solved. I don't know how I solved it. I solved it.
All these. What do you mean you don't know how you solved it? These puzzles are fucking. These are puzzles for babies.
Like, okay, so there's 3 different crunchers on the
Yep.
conveyor belt.
Yep. And
Oh,
there's
yeah,
3 different
yeah.
options, and if you just put them in the order that they appear in, you're good to go.
No, I didn't know how I solved this either. Like, I just hit random buttons and then went across, and it was like, you did it.
It is literally for section 1, use the first picture. And for section 2, use the second picture. And now I know this is going to blow your minds. For section 3, use that third picture.
Is there a section 4?
No. Anyway, we cross this cool little sneaky thing, Crag the Kron. the king of the Krons wants us to break into this factory that the Kron have been shut out of and knock down this like shield generator thing so that the Kron can assault the factory and take it over for themselves. They want to rebel against Lord Ix. Whoa, that's going to be a theme in this episode.
Yeah, I do feel like there's a pattern here of. But
The same
let's
thing
talk
happening 3 times in a row? Okay.
Yeah. So you go you go to the shield generator and then you just like shut it down. You just shut it down.
It's being powered by a Chaos Emerald, and you take the Chaos Emerald, and that shuts the shield down.
Yay!
I thought there was only one Chaos Emerald.
There's the Master Chaos
There are
Emerald,
7
and that's the one
Chaos
that
Emeralds.
Lord Ix took. However, they also
Okay.
took the other 6 Chaos Emeralds. The Master Emerald's the one that powers Angel Island, and that's why it crashed into Metropolis Zone.
All right, sure.
But the other 6
Knuckles
are
is the
important
protector
too.
of the Master Emerald, not all of the Chaos Emeralds.
He failed.
What is the difference in utility between a Master Emerald and a regular Chaos Emerald?
Oh, there's an exchange rate, Jim. Basically, 6 Chaos Emeralds equal the power of 1 Master Emerald, so that's why they have to get all 6 before they can even try to confront Lord Ix, because otherwise he'll use his Master Emerald's power to obliterate them.
You gotta have 6 to confront Lord Ix. Chaos
Yeah.
Emerald time.
Oh, wow. It all kind of doesn't make sense.
1 Chaos
Get Lord
Emerald
Ix.
down, 5 to
With your
go.
6.
The Kron rebels take over the factory, and we head back to the Cyclone to go to the next planet.
Yeah, now we're friends with all the Kron. Unfortunately, after this, now the planet is full of the Nocturnus guys, including those golden ones that are really annoying because they like. Well, I don't know if you fought a lot of the Nocturnus guys for Chapter 8. Now we're into Chapter 8. They like shoot you with their laser guns, and it does more damage to their basic attacks. This is a theme, especially on Gooper, the Goopy Goop planet. The basic attacks are way worse for your party than their easily dodged special attacks. Because
It's
they
bullshit.
do tons of damage.
And it sucks.
So we go to Gooper planet, the Nurgle colony, and the Nurgles are blob men that can like go into blob drones or form together to a blob man.
Blob
And-
warriors. Nurgle drones and Nurgle warriors.
Yeah.
Do you
Also,
think
this is the
this
beginning
is...
of Chapter 8, Sector Scylla.
Do you think the Nurgle are referencing the Nurgle? The Nurgle was, I think it was like the god of death and destruction in Mesopotamia, maybe?
Of
One of
course.
those,
100%, I think
of those
that's
old
what's going
pagan
on.
religions. Yeah. It's such a literary game.
So the problem with the Nurgle Nurgles are with their basic attack. If they hit you, they restore 100% of their health. 100%.
It was so annoying. That's the worst enemy design I've ever seen.
Yes, and it's not. I mean, they have a life. It almost seems like there's a mistake because they have a life sucking attack that's called like Life Drainer, and that one you can dodge, but their
Easily.
regular basic attack also does it, and that one's like just random chance. I mean, it does. I had a ninja lady in the party, and I did put her
Shade.
cloak on because she will dodge. Like she pretty much will never get hit if she has her cloak on.
I basically had to focus on one at a time, and each one took a full turn because
Yep.
you can kill one in a turn, but then because of the way this game works, boy, I don't know quite how to describe this. You choose attack, and then if the thing that you're attacking is dead, then they'll just randomly attack another enemy, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. So you'll kill the first one, and then you'll spend the rest of the turn attacking all of the different things that are out there, and then they'll full heal themselves. So you basically
Wait, so there's,
every
so
one of
there's
these
no
takes
what to it, Matt?
rhyme or reason.
The rhyme and the reason don't make no sense to me. I think you're crazy, live in a fantasy. Girl don't love ya, mama, she's just on the run. Mama gonna run around town. No better wise up, man, you ain't getting younger. Market value ain't getting stronger. Find another woman while the choice is up to you.
Matt's gonna fucking hate us when he has to edit this episode.
I'm not editing. I'm slapping this thing out there like a fucking fat piece of shit. I don't care.
You can't put it out raw.
I'm putting it out raw.
Raw dog it.
Raw. Wow, Matt's doing it raw. Anyway. So these Nurgles, they're like a bunch of Nurgles come to your ship and then all gloop onto it and they just start slurping on it. They're drinking the energy. They aren't damaging the ship, just drinking its energy.
I didn't want to kill these little guys. It gives you an option. It's like, hey, do you want to kill these little guys or no? And I was like, no, thank you. And then I walked away, and then I went back to my ship just for a little refreshment, and I guess I walked into them, and then I had to kill them. I felt real bad.
Well,
I didn't
every
feel
enemy
bad.
in this game reappears the second you step away from the screen. It's insane.
Yes, it's the Grandia problem of way too zoomed in with walking around enemies. At least we're done with that Grandia game. I'm not,
Yeah, thank God.
not going to be a going concern
Never
for us.
playing one of those pieces of shit again.
Yeah, the Grandia game last time made Matt almost quit the podcast.
That's not true. That's a lie. I didn't almost quit the podcast. I just didn't play the game.
Anyway, so
Yakuza's the one that made me almost quit the podcast.
well, you were even
yeah.
on that season.
That's why.
All right, so we're stuck. We can't leave because the Nurgles are attached to the ship. But then a Nurgle drone comes towards us and then assembles into a Nurgle warrior. Which I have. Is this like a Borg collective thing? Are
Yeah.
they? Oh, that's cool. I like that. So this is a slime town, and there's weird beams crisscrossing the whole place. So you
What
need
is this about? It never explains this in any way, shape, or form.
That's how they, because they subsist on energy. It's like have you been to a nice sushi restaurant with the sushi train that goes around the restaurant? It's just like that, except for it's instead of sushi, it's
I'm a little confused, to be honest with
I
you.
love
Did
the
you
sushi.
say
Are
a
you
nice
confused?
sushi
Yeah,
restaurant,
yeah.
or did you say a sushi restaurant that has a little train that goes
That
around?
is true.
Because
The
those
last-
are not the same thing.
The last sushi restaurant I went to that had a train gave us, you know, those like Japanese
Diarrhea? Yeah, we
digestion,
know.
just diarrhea drinks that they give you at like, they're like, you probably ate a lot. Here's some digestion medicine. That
I've
was
never had that
Like a
before.
shot
Oh, you've
glass
never
of
had that?
Pepto-Bismol?
No, they're like these little. You can buy them at the store, but they're these little Japanese. I think they're from Japan, but they're just these little plastic bottles of like probiotic milk that they give you to help your digestion after eating a big meal.
No, I've never had that before.
Oh, really? You've never had that?
I've definitely had
There's
I've eaten way too much all you can eat sushi before. Back when that
Yeah.
used to be a thing before the world went to shit.
In London town, there's a place that is like a sushi restaurant with a conveyor belt, but it is for cheese. And it is my dream to go there, especially on a Tuesday or Wednesday when they have all you can eat.
I find the description of a sushi restaurant having a conveyor belt bizarre. I've been
There's
to
one.
many sushi restaurants in my life, and I've never seen a conveyor belt at any of them.
Really? The last one I went to, it had a little screen at the table, and so if something that was on, if something that you wanted wasn't on the train, you could order it from this little screen, and then it would tell you what car that it was on the train. So when it came around, you could be like, "Oh, it's on 21." So you'd have to go pick it up off of 21
Yeah.
and then
I'm
put
just
it on your
saying these
table.
feel like two distinctly different kinds of restaurants.
There used to
Maybe
be
some
one
of them
in-
serve sushi, but I don't know
There
that
used to be
that's
one
what
in
that's not what a
Metrotown.
sushi restaurant is.
and it had a river going through the restaurant, so it was sushi boats that went through it. That one was the
Ooh,
best
were
one.
there koi in the pond?
No.
that
that
sounds-
probably would have been
I
that
went
probably
to
would
a
have been
sushi river
unsanitary.
place once, and I think it might have been in Vancouver. I wonder if it
Oh.
was the same one.
Was it at the big mall? The big Metrotown mall?
What if you guys were
can't
there at the
remember.
same time and you never knew?
What I remember
think
is
so.
like going up some stairs to get to it, like it was tucked away upstairs somewhere.
A
But
second story river, Vanessa. A second story sushi river sounds like a tall tale to me.
There's some good sushi places here. Definitely a
Anyway,
good
this
spot
planet
for
is a
sushi.
slime town, and there's weird beams crisscrossing the whole place, which means you have to have Big the fucking cat in your party. Which,
Yay!
fuck you, game. Fuck you.
I did put one of the Feroxes on big because I kept failing his things. I was like, nope, Ferox
What?
time.
His thing is 3 button presses.
Well, Matt. Actually, you're right. Yeah, no, I didn't put on big. I put I found a chow that gives ice. No, it wasn't a chow. I found a ice necklace or ice armband.
I got
so
that as
could
well.
have-
It's
I put that on
an
big.
accessory you can put that on. One of them that gives them
Yeah.
ice attacks, and ice does
Yeah.
work really well against these stupid fucking slimes. Anywho, eventually they lead us to the Nurgle Queen, and the Queen is allied with Lord X because their rivals, the Zoa, have a secret weapon, and the Nurgle are super scared of it. Mm-hmm. The Nurgle have a Chaos Emerald
This
that was
really
given to
felt
them.
like a KOTOR subquest.
The Nurgle have a Chaos Emerald that was given to them by Ix, and the Queen says she'll give it to us if we will go destroy the Zoa secret weapon. Mm-hmm. And that's it. We bail on Slimetown.
I did fully explore Slime Town, at least. I had fun walking around Slime Town.
I definitely,
There was-
I'm still exploring, and there's lots of treasure chests, which sometimes do have good equipment at least.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's where I got the ice bangle or whatever it's
and
called.
It's easy to collect most of the eggs in these areas, but I am no
Yeah.
longer going out of my way at this point. I don't give a shit. I just desperately want this game to be over.
There's one point where I needed Knuckles in my party. I didn't have Knuckles in my party to like smash some boxes, Knuckles or Amy, and so I didn't go that way. But
you
then
have to have
turns
Amy
out
for that, actually, because Knuckles only has level 2 smashing, and Amy has level 3 smashing. Because like you have to have
God,
Big
I'm
the
so
Cat, because I
stupid.
tried putting the stupid robot in my party, but he's only got level 2 shield, and Big has level 3 shield. Just
So there, we hop on the Cyclone one more time and go to Zoa. So this area is robots, and then one robot comes up to you and says, "Oh, you should speak to our leader," which is not something that's happened in the other two. I'm kidding. That is exactly the same setup. As this at least unfolds a bit differently. Though there was a puzzle, I saw a puzzle, but I never got the opportunity to do a puzzle.
there's just
which
a
is
man to
weird.
the side of the puzzle that you have to talk to, and then you do the puzzle.
He said you need to get a key card, go talk to the guy at the door, and I did, and he never gave me a key card. So how do I do puzzle?
Oh,
Where do
I
get
did do
key
it
card?
after the boss fight, so maybe that's
Oh,
what it
is it after? Oh, maybe you get one there.
I actually couldn't figure out. You do the puzzle, and it's like, that door is open now. And I was like, what door? And I couldn't find it. So I just bailed. I was like, I don't give a shit about this door.
Does Sonic regularly go to other planets, or like is this? No, this is just a thing with this game. I guess that leads me to another question. Do all the Sonic games take place on the same planet?
Yes.
I thought
do?
Sonic Frontiers had different planets.
I don't know. No, it's different zones. There's like
Oh,
Emerald,
okay.
Green Zone, Desert Zone. It's the same shit as always.
Yeah,
so
this feels
one
more
they're
like
just
Mario
planet
Galaxy.
hopping.
Yeah.
This is
it
like
does.
this is like Mass Effect, but with Sonic.
I do want to say, okay, I mean, kind of, except for none of that happens until the 7th out of 10 chapters in the fucking game.
Yeah.
Do you think?
When it's like, you're in
originally
space
it
now, and
wasn't-
guess what? This chapter is 4 planets. I will say this. These robots, they have high health, but they don't have any stupid regenerate bullshit. They don't have any fucking can't hit me bullshit. You can
Sometimes
actually-
they decide not to take as much damage from regular attacks, and who knows why.
Well, that's
They
been
just,
going on the
you know,
whole game.
Yeah. I think this was the best planet because it had the most character. Like, they're like, oh, so you want to so basically they are vassals to Lord Ix because Lord Ix challenged their ruler and said, and their whole culture is based on idea that citizens can challenge the ruler, and the way to do that is that you get in a fight, and whoever wins the fight gets to say yes or no. So we're like, okay, well, we'll challenge. It's like, well, only citizens can challenge. So come this way, buddy. Come this way, and you'll go through the immigration process. It'll take you to what are they called? They're not crons. The Zoa. We'll take you to a Zoa lawyer and help you learn about Zoa culture. And he's really leading you on, and he's like, follow me this way. And eventually you do follow him, and you just get in. You're like, why does this look like a fighting tournament? It's like, oh, no, it's not. Just stand right here and talk to that guy. That's your new immigration lawyer. And this gentleman will help you become a citizen. And gentleman is a big, big, big robot. And you have to fight him. And then you have to fight 5 more robots after you fight him.
Yeah,
I actually
like,
really
all right,
like
now that
this.
you're a citizen, your challenge has been accepted, but first you have to fight all my little minions.
Well,
but
first,
eventually,
you don't become a citizen until you beat the first set of robots, right? And then you're a citizen.
Yeah.
And then you have to fight more robots. There's a lot of robots fighting. So
it's like 5 rounds of fighting robots, but honestly, it's not hard. The last one, when you fight the boss robot, you do have to one-on-one fight him.
Yeah,
and he's kind of the weakest. He's kind of the weakest one.
You defeated my underlings. That was 4-on-4. Now it's not fair 4-on-1, so it's just going to be you versus me. And I just drank one of those drinks. I drank the iron drink. To give Sonic
you drank
better...
the probiotic drink that they give you
the
at
digestion
Japanese
thing after having a lot of
restaurants?
sushi. So the Sonic doesn't get a sour Tom. You don't want Sonic to have a sour Tom.
The first and only time I ever went to one of those conveyor belt sushi places, I drank that and I was like, oh, maybe this is like a custom. I didn't know what it was. And then by the time I got home, I had to go number 2 so bad. Oh, I just put that in the group chat.
And Matt wanted to know what I was looking at. I'm looking at the video or the screen grab that Jim put in the group chat. I'm doing business.
So there is a fun side quest here where you can find a merchant that's selling protective armbands or something like that.
I screwed this up. I talk to the merchant first.
Yeah, you have to talk to the merchant first. What else are you supposed to do?
I thought there was some other person you had to talk to first. But yeah, this is great.
You talk to him, and then you wander around a bit, and then you come back, and he's like, these bracelets protect people from the Night Stalker.
And then the Night Stalker shows up, and it's just like a remote control robot that we destroyed.
A hologram.
The Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez?
Yep, Richard Ramirez shows up, and you fight him and kill him, but it turns out it was just a hologram, and then Sonic's
It was just Jake Gyllenhaal.
I only know the name Richard Ramirez. There was an SNL skit where Paul Reiser was the host, where he played a vigilante, and he's like, I'm the Night Stalker, and they're like the serial killer Richard Ramirez, and he puts on his real voice, and he's like, wait, the Night Stalker's a serial killer? That was the whole premise of the sketch. It was
That's
a good one.
sketch.
Yeah, it is a good sketch.
All right, so you defeat General Rexus, and now he's like, okay, take our Chaos Emerald. We don't need it anyways. It was just our weapon against the evil Nurgles. And I'm like, well, are you and the Nurgles going to be friends? And he's like, no. What? No. That's our
well, and he also tells us that he got the it's also the secret weapons of Chaos Emerald, which he also got from Lord Nyx. So Lord Ix, sorry, not Nyx. Ix is playing these people against each other.
Mm-hmm. He's doing that's a real KOTOR situation where the Sith have actually been like giving weapons to both sides and saying the same thing, and
this, unlike KOTOR, this does not then allow you to play them against each other and all kill each other, and then you walk through and just loot all their corpses. So,
everyone hates Ix though. Slimies hate Ix. These guys hate Ix.
Rock Boys hate Ix.
Yeah.
They all want to rebel. So we leave with the Chaos Emerald and we head back to what's it called? Nurgle Planet, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And when you go back to the Nurgle Queen, you're like, yep, I got their secret weapon. It was a Chaos Emerald given to them by Lord X. And she's like, oh, but our Chaos Emerald was from Lord X. Fuck that guy.
Now we've got a few more colonies to go to, and 3 more Chaos Emeralds to get. So I guess, are we just going to meet 3 more protectors and then their queen or leader or general?
I think there's only 2 planets left, and then the 3rd planet is the Nocturnus planet.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Look, I'm sorry to be a negative Nelly, but when I had to fight those like 8 robots in a row, it just gets tedious.
It does.
It wasn't
tedious.
difficult because I have that healing chow and I have the refresh command. So I never was in danger. The only time I was in danger of party wipe, which did almost happen, was when I ran into a bunch of Nocturnus guys, and they were doing like 200 damage per round and almost killing. Like they killed poor Amy, and then they killed Sonic, and it was a bad time.
Definitely with the refresh PP skill that Cream has. That's a real thing in this game. So I don't know what you're laughing about, but definitely with the refresh PP skill that Cream has, you can use 3 special moves in a row with Sonic, and then at least a couple more with whoever your second fighter guy is, and maybe more depending on your party setup. Like you can go nuts. It's almost like Bravely Default, except without the default. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can just go fucking ham. If you get Cream's refresh PP skill up to the 3rd level, she refreshes 15 PP, 15 PPs. And that is basically a full mana refresh for most of these characters. So it's trivial because it's not hard, other than when they cheat basically by having like almost one shot standard moves that you can't block. It's stupid and bullshit. And I am still mostly enjoying the plot of this game at this point, even though there's not much of a plot, but like, I like stupid Sonic and
that last planet was fun. The robot planet, thumbs up. That was really fun.
I agree. The robot planet's fun, but definitely I'm hitting the point in this game where I just desperately want it to be over. In fact, I am going to try to blow through the end of this thing this weekend and never think about it again.
All right. Now I'm doing a special segment this time. And our puzzle segment, this chunker, the puzzles have been so for babies, it hasn't worked. And I thought, how about I read you user reviews and you tell me what score they gave this game.
Okay.
As much as I personally love this game and enjoy where the story goes, there are many points in the writing that show how rushed this was behind the scenes, not to mention the absolutely horrific sound design. Although, if I've heard correctly, they had to scrap all the sound assets in the last few months without the lead sound designer. What score did they give this, Vanessa?
What?
2.5.
Out of 10?
Okay, out of 10.
5?
4.5.
Yeah.
Oh, 4.5. Jim,
I'm gonna say 6.
what was the score that this review gave this game?
Wait, is it out of 10 or out of 5?
Out of 10. Yeah, it's out of 10.
All right, I'll stick with 4.5.
All right. Well, Jim, you're correct. Jim wins this round. the second one. Who in Sega really said, let's make an RPG of Sonic? You know, the guy's entire point of games is going fast. The idea can still be cool if the story and gameplay is quite decent. But this is Sega we are talking about, so like always, they found a way to ... it up somehow, confusing the dumb story, trash combat, and it's just not fun at all. The OST manages to become the worst Sonic soundtrack of all time. I was thinking that today. It is a terrible soundtrack.
Sonic's music is usually pretty good. It's usually one of the best parts of Sonic games. It's got some real like upbeat, nice like synthy soundtrack, and this one's like dink, 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 dink. Like Chronicles is so bad. Even the soundtrack is an absolute dumpster fire. What did they give this game?
2.
You're correct,
is this out of
Vanessa.
5? Oh, 2.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay, here's the last one. I beat the game twice, and I plan to beat it even more times. The story is really good. The combat is super repetitive to the point where I almost dread entering battles sometimes, but it can be fun to get good at. The puzzles are laughably easy. Except for the last one, which is more confusing than it needed to be. Everything about this game is fairly good. Also, I like the music in the game. It's not nearly as bad as people say it is. Jim.
Is this out of 10 or 5?
10.
5.
Vanessa.
7.
Matt.
9. Also,
Matt's
I would like to
correct.
retroactively say...
What?
I would like to retroactively say I think the first one was 6 and I think the second one was 2. And I would like to get credit for those correct answers.
Wow. Matt's real good at this game.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for this time. We'll do some more next time.
Matt wins.
Matt is, well, it's everyone that's tied. It was 1 point for everyone.
But I got 3 points.
For everyone.
No, you got 1 point, Matt.
No, I got the first one and the second one and the third one right. So that's 3 points.
We never heard you get the first one or second one.
You just heard me say them to you a moment ago.
Yeah,
That's
after
true.
you
He
knew
said
the
it.
answers.
I didn't know the answers. I was gone.
Sure.
He didn't even know the questions. That's how good he is.
Wow. All right. So next time we finish Sonic. That's it. We're done our little Sonic adventure next week.
Yeah,
Wow.
since this is the penultimate episode in our Sonic series, it's time to announce the next game. You guys
Yay!
excited?
Yeah.
The next game, it's a gym pick, and it's Grandia 2.
No!
John, I think this game will make you rethink your term Grandia pile.
I bet it won't.
Jim,
Because this game is good. Yeah,
Jim,
Vanessa.
how can I play this game?
It is on the Switch if you were to download the Grandia HD collection. It is also available on Steam standalone, the HD version. And if you have a Dreamcast and the disc, you can play the Dreamcast, the original Dreamcast version, which, according to everyone on the internet, is the superior version of the game.
Versus
To
the
the
remaster?
Steam?
Versus the HD remake. Yeah, people say that there was a series
remake.
of Dream...
It's a remaster.
It's a remaster, yes. According to the internet sages, there was a
the
run
biggest
of
idiots on the earth.
there was a run of Dreamcast RPGs that are lauded as some of the best of that console generation, and Grandia 2 is one of them.
Arcadia!
Skies of Arcadia being another one. That is another
There's no
Game Arts
remaster
game,
of
I
that
believe.
one, right?
Sorry?
Skies of Arcadia, there's still no way to play that one, right?
I don't think so.
Well,
Yeah,
you have a
I think that's
Dreamcast.
almost abandonware
You
at this
did.
point.
Do
have a-
Yeah, unless you have a Dreamcast.
I do have a Dreamcast, and they're really easy to hack.
Man, the quote unquote like pop culture store that's near me they have like a locked case of like old gaming stuff you can buy. They have a Dreamcast for like $240 that I kind of want to just
Wasn't
get.
it? I mean, I bought mine for $99 when they were $99.
Yeah, now they're like collector's items. They're hard to come by.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I have a Sega Dreamcast.
I never owned one in the original Dreamcast era, but I always wanted to play Seaman.
You can get Seaman sucked. You can get a Dreamcast for $100 on eBay.
What?
Yeah, that seems like a better price.
Crazy markup on that thing then. Maybe I can talk them down. Anyways, next game, Grandia 2. We're going to be playing as Ryudo, and
so
there's
not
going to
Justin?
be... Nope, it's a totally different setting, totally different cast of characters.
No Sue and her bug that lives in her hair?
No Sue and Puff Puff. No, that's Puff Puff. No Sue and Puff Puff. But we have Ryudo and Elena and Merrig and the rest.
I'm looking forward to playing a game on my Switch.
Rest.
Yeah,
I like playing a game on my Switch.
I actually when I over the last couple months, I've been playing a bunch of RPGs on my Steam Deck, and I was like, I've heard Grandia 2 is really good. I'm gonna try it, and by golly, it is a good game, guys. It is a good RPG. I'm excited for us to play it. It has cool combat. The writing so far, I've heard it. Well, has kind of taken a turn in my game, but writing mostly pretty good. Pretty good writing. Got some good stuff. The main character curses, which Matt's gonna like a lot.
Ooh.
What the
fuck is happening here?
No, it's like a cool Ninja Ranger guy who has a cool hawk
like a
sidekick.
goth girl with like fun?
There is actually a winged hot goth girl in this game who's a member of your party. So you're gonna like that. But yeah, this game is good. I'm excited for us all to play it. Like I said, great combat. I think it's gonna make for a good series. So tune in for that within the next couple of weeks.
All right. And finally, Matt, what are you squarely against?
Boy, tough one this week because a lot of things. The Kron and the Nurgle are fucking obnoxious. Like, holy shit. Did they just... It's not that they ramp up the difficulty, it's that they ramp up the length of battles in a way that made me want to throw myself into a toilet and flush me down. Just flush me down into the sewer where I belong because I play games like Sonic Chronicles. Sonicals. So yeah, like a lot of bullshit going on here. Ready to be the fuck done with this game. My daughter has gone out of town. I did recently get a Pokemon game for her for the DS because she's been obsessed with Pokemon lately. I was very tempted to just send the DS with her to Pennsylvania and be like, have fun, and I'll just watch the end of this game because I don't want to fucking play it. But I didn't, and I will because I don't know.
It was
Vanessa.
an interesting use of the word finally that Johnny did a moment ago.
Jim,
What?
what are you squarely against?
I haven't. I stopped playing the game. If I'm going to be
Okay.
honest, I was out of town
pretty
for like
jealous.
2 weeks,
I
and
mean, it's a DS game, so that's what's called a portable console.
Yeah, and I tried, and then I spent like an hour playing the game for 3 minutes, and then restarting my 3DS in the hopes that I would get the chow that
That's
would
a lie.
auto.
And I refuse to
no,
allow a lie
I did
to
it.
stand on this
I
podcast.
did it. I did it when I was out of town, and it never worked, and so I was like, "Fuck this."
You quit this game because the Scorpion boss was too hard in this
The Scorpion
game
bosses were too
for
hard.
babies that all three of us, a bunch of idiots, if I'm being honest with you, just a bunch of clowns, were able to get through. You're a grown man.
I should have said this unless my experience fighting those scorpions was, hey, it's my turn. Let me have all of my characters do either special attacks or a regular attack. The special attacks I could not complete because they're fucking impossible and broken. And then my regular attacks did 1 damage. And then these scorpions would come up and one-shot all my characters. Wow, great game. Can't wait to play more of it.
Well, that's why I would like to announce that the next game we're playing for the podcast is Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood 2.
We should like do a Kickstarter for that game.
Yeah, but you know how
Sonic Chronicles, but good.
you know how we've been threatening to make an FMV game of our own? That should be our FMV game.
Should it?
Oh my
Yeah.
God, starring Matthew Van Zandt as Sonic.
Yeah, Matthew is Sonic. Vanessa, I don't know. She could be Amy or Cream or Rouge.
I'm
Choice is
sorry,
wide
but I
open.
think that Jim would have to be
Vanessa's the
Sonic
only
because
woman,
he's got
so
the hair
she-
to spike up.
Yeah, Vanessa's the only woman on the podcast, so she is Rouge and Cream and Amy.
I like
If
it
anything,
because it really
I'm
represents
Big the Cat.
Yeah. I feel like Rouge and Cream and Amy really represent the triplicate of woman. You know, there's like
Yeah.
the sexual woman, the innocent woman, and your nag wife with the big hammer.
Holy shit.
With the frying
You're
pan.
fucking right. Like, this is the fucking, the trio, the triumvirate of fucking, what's it called? It's Shakespearean. Like, the three fucking witches. You're absolutely right.
Wait, what's the name of the planet that Sonic goes to in this game? What are the names of the planets? What's the name of the planet that you start at?
I don't know.
Kron.
Like
Kron,
Sonics
Nurgle,
are
and Zoa.
from Kron and Creams are from wherever the fuck the Nurgle are from.
Queen's a child. It's gotta be Amy.
Vanessa,
Yeah.
what are you squarely against?
Well, Johnny, I've been thinking about this game and why it's not really connecting for me. And I think it's because what I love is character. And this game assumes that you already know Sonic and care about Sonic. And so it doesn't make any efforts to actually get you in the course of the game to care about these people. It's just like everyone playing this game will already think Sonic is the coolest, best blue boy. And so we don't have to do anything to make him appealing at all. He'll just go around. He mostly mocks his friends, which, to be fair,
That's
is
a
what I do
dialogue
with
choice.
my friends.
That you can make.
And then he has these friends who, at best, seem to have surface-level characteristics with no real depth to them. And I find it dull.
I want to say it is
Also-
absolutely bizarre how much of this game seems to rely on you having knowledge of a Sonic game that I don't think ever happened. Like, what they're talking about events that, as far as I know, never happened in a Sonic game.
Actually, Matt, according to the wiki, this says, and I'm surprised you don't know this because it's like common knowledge. 4,000 years ago, there were two rival civilizations coexisting peacefully with each other: the Knuckles clan and the Nocturnus clan. Eventually,
Those are different species. They're all echidnas.
Eventually, an unanticipated cataclysm destroyed the Knuckles clan and ripped Angel Island from the surface of the planet. Meanwhile, the Nocturnus clan and everything associated with it disappeared for unknown reasons, never to be seen again. And that's the setup for the game. Everybody knows that.
You literally just proved my point. Like, there's nothing about this that... It's like it thinks that you should know the details of this Sonic universe, but it doesn't follow from any of the games. So, like, what's going on?
Yeah, I like how the game opens with Sonic doing a 9/11 and then going on vacation.
So, Vanessa, is your squarely against done?
Yes, it's done. And at this point, I guess that what I want to say is that it's not done. There's one more issue I have, and it's that this game is just slow. You know, for a game that is based on a guy whose whole thing is that he must go fast. He has a compulsion to that is uncontrolled.
I don't know that that's true.
It feels like a sluggish game. Feels like a slug game.
I was gonna actually say be squarely against the music, but that review kind of ripped that off me. But yeah, the music in this game is bad, and Sonic music is usually good. Why music's so bad? I guess there was something that happened, but I guess we'll never know because I'm not going to look into this any further. Anyway,
Is it time to level up
Great.
now?
I don't know what you're talking about.
it's time to level up.
Whoa.
Boom, 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 jibba-da-da, jibba-da-da, boom.
Have you ever thought
We-
about how Sonic kind of sounds like satanic?
Ooh, yes.
You have?
I
Yeah.
think about that all the time. Actually.
All the time. Matt, how'd you level up?
All right, I have a few things to talk about. I'll keep them short and sweet. I am on Dungeon Crawler Carl, book number 6.
Oh,
and
God.
I'm just going to give like a pleasant little nod to recommend that series to people again. It's a good fun time. I did hear that Seth MacFarlane's production company has picked up the rights to it,
Ooh.
which seems about right.
Dungeon crawler Peter Griffin.
Hey, Lois, why am I in this dungeon? It's like that time Knight Rider came to the house.
This dungeon. I can't do a Peter Griffin voice. I don't even.
No,
That's
please
Randy's motto.
continue.
I sound
Please
like
continue, Jim. I want to hear more.
Kermit. It's just Kermit.
I am still enjoying that book. It has gotten a little, that series, I should say. It's gotten a little more serious and a little less goofy, though it's still pretty goofy. But the writer is doing a fantastic job with characterization. It's a first person thing, so like mostly it's your main character Carl, but Princess Donut, best in show, best in dungeon. The Queen Anne Chunk is such a delightful character. I'm really enjoying it, and I guess the 7th book is the latest one, so oh no, what am I going to do with my life when this is over? Anyway, still reading those. Very fun. Getting a little darker. I said this when we were streaming last night. Our main character Carl has kind of turned into a terrorist, which is a little fucked up, but it's still a good fun time.
Go read that Cineverse cycle.
What?
The Cineverse cycle that I recommended. You
Oh
check
yeah,
out.
I think I bought those actually. They might be on my thing. I've got a bunch of books to read, but I'm gonna finish this series and then I'll move on to something else. I did, at Jim's insistence, watch a movie the other day.
My insistence.
Jim demanded that I watch a movie. His question to me was, "Can you please watch this movie and tell me why this guy's legs are so long?"
No,
So I watched
that was
Long
like
Legs.
I'm watching a movie where you said something like where the movie. I'm watching a movie where's the guy with the long legs or something like that, and I was like, oh, are you watching Long Legs?
Well, if you want to take my joke away and explain it in the basis terms, I guess
you
that's fine.
keep blaming your bad movies on me, like
Jim
I'm
made
forcing
me
them
watch
upon
a bad
you.
movie called Long Legs, and it was bad.
I did see Jim bully Matt into watching it.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Didn't
so
happen.
much
I didn't even.
for
If
backing
you go
me up.
back to the level ups, back when Long Legs came out, I said I saw it and thought it was okay.
Yeah, but then today you said you wouldn't come on the podcast unless Matt watched it today.
That's true.
That is true. Yeah.
That's true. And you wanted me to explain to you why his legs were so long, which is weird because he doesn't have long legs. It's just Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, he
Why
was
do
like,
they call him Long
I won't
Legs?
go on the show until you watch this movie because I have to know why his legs are so long.
And that's a great question, Jim, because the movie fails to explain anything in any reasonable way, in any way, shape, or form.
The movie is basically like Satan.
Yeah. It's basically just a lot of long shots of people sitting in cars and at restaurants. And then at the very end of the movie, it's like, here's what happened.
I will say those long shots look pretty good. The
Yeah.
movie's well directed. The
Yep.
movie looks great.
Yep. I will absolutely give you that. It's well directed. It looks great. As far as plot's concerned, it's trash. It was bad. And I don't know why his legs were so long. And also, dolls have Satan balls in their head, and that mind controls people into killing their families. There you go. That's the movie.
There's a scene in that movie where you don't really know what's going on, but there's a coroner who like finds a metal ball inside of a doll, and he's like, maybe this is weird, but when I touch that ball, all I could think about was murdering my ex-wife. and like nobody in the movie was like, that's weird.
Kind of reminds me of
also-
Halloween 3 a bit.
The
Kinda,
main character,
yeah.
Halloween 3 is a goddamn perfect movie that
That is a good movie.
enjoy so much that I
No.
watch it every fucking year.
It is one of the worst movies I've seen. I would put that in like bottom 20.
John, it's that as well. Like, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Nothing you just said was incorrect, but it's such a good time.
3 more
anyway,
days till Halloween.
Halloween,
Halloween. 3 more days till Halloween.
then snakes
Silver
fall
shamrocks.
shamrocks.
Is the movie Longlegs based on the book Daddy Longlegs by Gene Webster?
Yes, 100%. So if
Okay.
if you've read that book, you should watch the movie. It'll give you more context for the book.
I always thought the whole theme of that book was very odd. I mean,
Well, the dolls with the
Even-
Satan balls in their head is a little.
Yeah.
well, I was thinking more about how, like Judy didn't have contact with Jervis.
Dame
so
Judi
I guess
Dench.
it wasn't technically grooming, but at the same time, like, he paid for her, like, orphanage and then college education, and then she just marries him? Like, that seems
Yeah,
like a
in the
setup.
movie, Nicolas Cage plays the orphanage.
Yeah.
Anyway, Longlegs was a weird movie, and it wasn't very good. I'm sorry to say. It's one of those things where like you can see all the bits and pieces and be like, and say to yourself like, this has the bones of like a good movie, and it
Yeah.
just fails in the execution so hard. Also,
It could've-
there's one scene with one little girl who just mysteriously wakes up out of a coma, and then she's talking to an FBI agent, and she's like, she talks like the Woodsy Lord from fucking.
Yeah, I
She
agree.
legitimately is like, I'd like these to kill these, your faces, you fat fucking slutsies. It's insane. I said in the chat, I wanted to find the person that wrote the dialogue for this movie and punch him in the face. It was so bad.
The writing
Like, I
in the
was so
movie
mad.
is really bad. Even while I was watching it in the theater, I was like, the writing is awful. The way these characters, and like, I think it's supposed to be like a stilted a little bit, where you're like kind of supposed to be put off by the unreality of it all, but like it's just doesn't land.
It doesn't
at
land.
all.
That's that movie. It's almost a good movie. It's not almost a
So
good
close.
movie, but like it's
Very close.
It's in different hands. That's a good movie. And Nicolas Cage playing a serial killer, like he's giving it his all. He's really great. He's barely in the movie, and his whole backstory is explained in like a 2-minute flashback at the end of the movie. It's terrible.
There's a great scene of Nicolas. You get like little peeks into Nicolas Cage's character, not more than a couple minutes, but like there's one scene where it shows Nicolas Cage in a car and he's driving and it's silent, and then all of a sudden he starts screaming and he
Yeah.
screams, "Mommy, Daddy, save me from the hell of living!" And that's the best part of the movie.
It's got all the pieces and it just can't put them together. Anyway,
Yeah.
Longlegs was terrible. I'm sorry that I didn't like it, Jim, after you forced me to watch it. I also watched half of Willy's Wonderland, and I don't have much to say about that. I'm not going to go in a whole spiel. I just want to say that movie was very obviously a Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff before it came out. I never watched it, but I always kind of wanted to because it's fucking Nick Cage. And I did not finish the movie. It was so bad. I watched the first hour of the movie. Nick Cage does not speak a single line, not one line of dialogue. And I have to say, I was shocked at how much it ripped off the Five Nights at Freddy's plot. Like, I knew that it was a Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff, but I didn't realize it would be that much of a Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff. It's wild. So wild that I turned it off and stopped watching it.
Did
Anyway.
it have Freddy Fazbear turn towards the camera and say, "Life begins at conception"?
Yep. Yep. Freddy Fazbear's in that movie, and he is an anti-abortionist who does murder
It's
people.
Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
What was the last one I was going to say? I watched it today. Jim, what did I... Oh, Jim made me watch the movie The Watchers, which
That movie
is
sucks.
M. Night Shyamalan's daughter's directing debut. It was... Holy shit, it was bad. It wasn't... I thought Longlegs was bad, and then I watched The Watchers, and I was like, oh, this is what a bad movie really is, because there's nothing redeeming about that piece of shit.
The Watchers, I saw the movie and I was like, God, this fucking sucks. But I saw that it was based on a book, and the book was like 99 cents on Kindle. So I was like, maybe I'll read the book and it will be better, like a better the book is equally bad. The book is fucking terrible. It's boring. The prose is bad. The dialogues, it's just a bad book. And I stopped reading it probably 30% of the way through.
For a movie that is essentially a monster movie, it's the type of monster movie that never, ever lets you see the monsters other than in the deepest, pitchest black, Only in the forest at night can you see the monsters, and there's no lighting.
It starts as like a kind of like a creature feature horror movie, but it turns into like a folk horror movie where it's basically like an Irish or Scottish folk horror movie where like in Scottish folklore there are things that will kidnap your children and then imitate them. It's the premise of like 10 different horror
Like
movies
a
in the last like
Changeling?
10 years.
In
Yes.
fact,
Yeah, like
John,
Changeling.
that is exactly what the monsters in those movies are. They straight up call them changelings.
Yes.
They also refer to them as fairies. It is terrible. You never get to see one except for when they look like humans, so that's nice. It's garbage. Like, as much as I just talked a lot of shit about Longlegs, I would still say if you're looking for like a good bad time, you could do worse than Longlegs. Watchers, just a turd. Just a fucking
Also, there is
turd.
There is a great Square Roots history connection in the movie Watchers where the old lady in that movie is played by the same actor who played the old lady in Texas Chainsaw.
Oh my God, I knew you were going to say that.
The movie that we reviewed for the podcast.
That's it for me. That's how I leveled up. Johnny.
Hi.
Hi. I like your yellow sweater. It's fun. It's festive.
Thank you.
Is
It's
that
not
an Easter
from-
themed sweater?
No, but it's not from,
You're like a
from
yolk.
Shirts. Shirts.com, the site where I sent Matt yesterday because I was like, ooh, I bet Haley would like these
No, she's
$85 hoodies.
She's not emo anymore. She's into Hello Kitty and pink.
Well, I think they have a lot of. Well, I know they have. No, actually, they don't have pink. It's like red. It's real primary colors. It's like red and yellow and green and blue. Is sort of the bright
Jalen's in
stuff.
like a real Billie Eilish Chapel Roan phase. Chapel Roan's is releasing new tracks right now, so she's very much in a Chapel Roan.
Is she HOTTOGO?
She does send me TikToks a lot of Hot to Go.
Yeah, that's a good song. I like that one.
Yeah.
That one sounds just like that song. What are words for if no one listens anymore? Or was that Human something? No, not Human League.
Human League?
No, it's not Human League. I can't remember what that band is called. Anyway.
I do like Chapel Roan. I haven't heard any. I just want to say this real quick. Haven't heard any new tracks, but Good Luck Babe still an A+ song.
So, what would you like to hear about? Would you like to hear about my experience playing Rockstar game Manhunt, which I recorded some footage of for my
I
next
do
video?
want to hear about
please.
Manhunt.
In fact, Johnny, why don't you just go ahead and assume that we say yes to all the things, and then go ahead and talk about them.
You know, I've never played Manhunt. When Manhunt came out, it was the center of such controversy, and like I was like a small town like 13-year-old kid, and I was scared of it. I was like, this game is going to traumatize me, so I was like, I never want to play it.
You know those brutal kills in Saints Row 2022? That's why I'm recording it. It's actually like the special melee when your meter charges up.
We're like
and
stabbing them.
Yeah, it is exactly that. Like they are identical, except in that game, whatever, it's just a violent attack. But in Manhunt, because you have Brian Cox on your radio saying, "Yes, kill him. I want to see blood." But that game is fucking awful. It is. I thought
it's not very much fun to play.
I thought it would be like, hey, I like giving games another chance. It's been 20 years. Maybe I'll see what the game was going for. No, that game is
I'd go
just
so far
like,
as to say that's kind of the whole premise of this podcast.
It's like
It's
a
true.
fixed camera game too, right? Which I think.
No.
Oh, it's not fixed camera.
only during those kill scenes does it go to like a special camera.
Okay. It does like the gritty VHS cam.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
The 8mm cam.
It's using not the Resident Evil. It's using the Grand Theft Auto engine, right? It's basically they took this gameplay and made it a subsystem in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, like identical, like down to the UI and everything. You can do in San Andreas, you can do stealth kills in the same way with the same meter. They aren't quite as brutal in San Andreas. Like it's kind of gnarly, but there's like no blood, there's no gore. It's just very violent.
One thing that I remember about the coverage of Manhunt when it came out is people were particularly upset that it's like often in these games, like when you kill people, like stabbing and shooting is pretty common. But I remember like this particular kill getting a lot of coverage, which is you can suffocate people with like a plastic bag.
That's the first weapon you get in the game.
Yeah, and I remember people being particularly upset about that.
Yeah, it's a bad game though. Like it's such a basic stealth game. Like it has the play mechanics of Metal Gear, but not as good. Like it doesn't reach Metal Gear's stealth mechanics, and it's just boring, ugly environments. It's just wretched, but it's so uninspired and small. Like it seems like a budget game. It is just awful. Like I'm very surprised not only that Rockstar released it, but that it sold enough they made a bad sequel that got banned in a bunch of countries. So that's my Manhunt review. I do want to get the Wii version of Manhunt though, because I think that'd be a fun review for my channel.
Oh, that would be a great Wii port review for your channel.
Yeah, because that's what we have to go like stab, but they put so much VFX fuzz on it that you can't really see what's happening because it got such notoriety before its release.
Yeah. It wasn't quite hot coffee levels, but it was close.
Yeah, and it's so tame that like the only thing shocking is that the motion capture is very good. Like it is a brutal kill, but it's so like it's nothing compared to those Mortal Kombat fatalities like in the past 10 years of Mortal Kombat games. Nothing, nowhere near as. It's not Harvester. There's nothing as gory as Harvester ever happening. I don't know. It's very bad. You know what's gorier? Phantasmagoria is much gorier.
Phantasmagoria has shocking violence in it.
Yeah,
like there are
like the lady in the head thing.
There's a thing. Remember at the end of the game when the thing comes down, and if you don't hit the button in time, it will burst your melon.
Yeah. I use that. I use that
your
shot.
Skull splitting apart and exploding.
I used that shot in my Lisa Larry video, but then I cut to that Too Gross commercial. Too gross.
Yeah, too gross. YouTube has gotten really sensitive. I've heard about gore.
Yeah, I am cutting to that. Even I think in that Saints Row thing, I'm going to use that. Like showing that Saints Row.
You know what, John? Maybe you're not to this place yet, but other channels that I've seen will when they cut their videos will include the gory or sexual content, but censor it when they put it on YouTube, but offer the uncensored version on a Patreon or something like that. That could be interesting for you. I mean, I know you don't do a lot of like censored content, but it could be interesting for your channel.
I was thinking of just going through the YouTube YouTube paid subscription thing, but maybe it would be better. I don't know. I was going to do that when I hit.
Based on what I've heard from like influencers that I work with and stuff, they say Patreon is there's way less hassle doing Patreon than there is like going through YouTube's paid subscription thing.
Interesting.
Okay. And they say they get because like you show up in the algorithm more organically if it's not a paid thing. So like if you don't put the paid subscription paywall thing up, they say they get a lot more organic views out of that than when they do the YouTube paid thing. So
good to know. I was waiting until I get like 2,000 subscribers before I start doing a Patreon. Like I was kind of like waiting a little bit, like maybe the end of this year. But the other game I played the first level of RoboCop Rogue City.
Yeah,
Because that was on sale for like $15, and that game's one of the best looking games I've ever seen. Like,
oh my
god,
the
crazy.
The ray tracing in that game, and you probably haven't seen it yet, but when you get to go to like downtown Detroit, and you get to go there a few different times at different times of day, but the reflections of the sun on the puddles in the water and gleaming off of the glass storefronts, that game is gorgeous. It looks fantastic.
I also downloaded the new ray traced version of Grand Theft Auto online and Grand Theft Auto 5, and that game looks fantastic, and both of them run really well on a 3080, which is like it was a good graphic card when it came out, but it's not top of the line now. Now it's 4 or 5 years old.
Well, have you seen the new, like, all the frame rate features of the newer NVIDIA cards? It's all like AI upscaling. And like people are real pissed about it.
I do, like, I use the AI upscale sometimes. Like, I use that in Starfield and it looks fine.
I think it's fine if you're going from maybe 30 to 60, but if you're trying to go
I'm not doing the frame rate. I'm not doing the extra frames. I'm only doing, like, going from a 1080p, like, it's rendering at 1080p and then scaling it up to 1440p.
Like the rendering of it.
Yeah, not the frame rate.
When you do the AI frame rate, it starts to look shitty.
Yeah. I've heard that it doesn't look great, so I'm not using that. But I now they're allowing it for 30 series cards, but originally it was just for 40 and 50 series cards to do the frame rate smoothing. Anyway, we're getting too technical here. Vanessa is ordering another locker for me, and I don't want that to happen. So I will talk about very quickly that... well, first of all, that new Grand Theft Auto that version looks amazing and runs great on my computer, which is Locker Talk. But I've been watching the first since the show ended, Parks and Recreation. I'm doing a watch through, and I just got to season 3.
Oh,
the hard
did you start
cutoff,
at season 1?
No, I've watched. I know you don't like those first 2 seasons. I like them.
I asked you if you started with season 1.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I did start with season 1 and watched through all that. So now I just got to season 3, and it is such a reboot that it has a voiceover explaining what happened at the reboot end of season 2. It's terrible. And the weird thing is season 2 ends with Leslie Knope becoming friends with Ben Wyatt after like some arguments and stuff for the first couple episodes he was introduced. And then it resets that, and now she hates him again. It's really wild how suddenly she hates him again at the beginning of season 3.
They're trying to build that will they, won't they thing from season 3.
I think that they're like at the end of season 2, they went too fast into them being friends, and they're like, oh, no, we got to back up. We need another season of this.
I've said this, but when I rewatch Parks and Rec, which I've done several times, I always start at the episode where Ben and Chris show up, when Adam Scott and
Rob Lowe.
I knew it was Lowe. I was like,
Rob
Jeff Lowe? No, that's not it.
The last episode I watched was Rob Lowe being sick, and that is maybe my favorite Rob Lowe performance.
Is that the one where he's looking at the camera and saying, stop?
Yes.
No, he looks in the mirror. He looks in the mirror and he's like, stop.
That is my favorite. That's one of my favorite gifts of all time. I send that I send that to people all the time.
And when Anne comes in and he's like, I may have vomited somewhere in this room. Now that I think about it, it may be that drawer. Don't open that drawer there. It just
I know you hate Chris Pratt. I do really like
Matt. This character grew on me. Like, I think that he gets better because I haven't watched season 3 in forever. That by the end of because in season 1 and 2, he is just trash. Like, that's the point. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That is the point. The Anne's ex-boyfriend thing, it's almost weird to me because that's not how I think of that character, because I've watched it before, but I never watched those first 2 seasons. So, and he's the fucking worst in those first 2 seasons. So it's a little weird to me because after that, he's fun. And the will they, won't they with him and April Ludgate, Aubrey Plaza, it really works for me. That little romance and the fact that it's really, they don't will they, won't they for long before they couple up. And then they're kind of the funnest couple in the series for the rest of the show.
Yeah, I do like when they pretend to be Burt Macklin and she's Janet
It is
Snakehole.
always bizarre to me to remember that he's Felicia Rashad's ex-boyfriend. That's weird.
One of the
Felicia
things
Rashad
that,
from The Cosby Show? Did they date?
No, what's her name? What's what's her name?
It's R.
Ann
It's an R.
Perkins.
Yeah, it's she's Jones's Rashida Jones.
Rashida Jones. Yes, thank you.
Oh, I see why you got that.
I
confused.
think Chris Pratt has a joke that's in that show where everyone gets sick and he's at his computer and he Googles it and he's like, "Hey, I Googled your symptoms and it says you have network connectivity problems." That might be the funniest fucking joke I've ever heard. And like, I'm so upset that it came from Chris Pratt, but that's one of the and like the writer of the show said that was ad-libbed and he's like, "I wish I could write a joke that funny." Like I think that is one of the funniest goddamn jokes I've ever heard in my life.
I laughed really hard.
There's a blooper reel of Parks and Rec that you can find on YouTube that is mostly Chris Pratt ad-libbing stuff and like people breaking character and laughing.
That.
And the
Kim
best
Kardashian joke that he tells.
The best joke in the whole thing that my friends and I reference all the time to each other is him saying, I can't remember the exact joke, but he's basically like, I was pooping and I couldn't, like, I kept wiping and wiping and wiping, and it was like I was wiping a marker. It's like I'm wiping a marker. Good. It just won't stop. And I was like, that fucking slays me.
There's a great one where they're like doing a panel and they're talking about how to stage a good comeback. And they're like, what are some good comeback stories? And he raises his hand and he's like, Kim Kardashian. And they're like, I don't know if that counts. He's like, she got cum on her back in that video. And like all the actors in it though, like start just losing it. Like everyone in the scene just loses it. It's really funny.
Hey, Vanessa.
I want to level up.
That's what I was doing. I was just handing it over to you. I was bringing it over in a little gift bag, and you can open the bag and level up. So here's the gift bag. How did you level up?
Gimme. Hey, are you listening to this podcast when it comes out on Monday, March 17th?
Yeah,
if you are, it might not be too late for you to follow in the footsteps of my level up and go see comedian Nish Kumar on his North American tour.
Just to be clear, this is the real reason you bailed on us last week.
I don't know why you gotta put it like real reason, because I never lied to you about the circumstances of why I was bailing
Johnny
on you.
and Jim told some lies about why you missed the episode. I obviously did not. I would never do that.
Why would they do that?
The only reason listeners didn't hear your version, Matthew, is because I fucking bleeped it out of the last episode.
Nish Kumar, you might know him as the co-host of the political podcast Pod Save the UK. That's right.
Oh, I didn't know that was a podcast.
Yeah, it's the sister podcast of Pod Save America, and it covers UK politics. He was also the host of the MASH Report, and I guess the other place you might have seen him is something like Taskmaster, maybe? Like Taskmaster Series 5, probably? This was one of the favorite comedy shows that I have ever seen, and also of the friend who I went with, who I tend to go to comedy shows with. It's very, very political. It's very cathartic. If you are at all sensitive about
at all.
Hearing, opinions about who may or may not deserve to continue on in their positions and or lives. It might be a little bit too intense for you, but I found it very enjoyable. He's still going around. He's going to be in Tulsa. He's going to be in San Diego, Los Angeles, Berkeley. There's all kinds of places you can go see him. He's going to be in Vancouver, BC. And I was going to try to bully Johnny into going, but Johnny has walked away from the microphone.
So he's coming to Florida then?
I
Obviously?
can see him in the frame. He's washing his hands, I think.
I don't believe he is going to Florida, Matt, nor has he been there. Let's see. Nope. It looks
I don't blame him for that.
Raleigh. Well, he's not that known in the States, which is part of why it was a delightful show. It was a teeny tiny venue of maybe 200 seats at most. So perhaps he just doesn't feel that the Florida audience would be receptive to the kind of thing that he's got going on. I loved it. If you are looking for a laugh, even if you think that maybe you can't laugh at politics right now, which is how I felt, I was
Same.
wrong. I went and I laughed at the funny man, Nish Kumar. Britain's own Jason Mantzoukas.
Whoa, that's quite a claim.
It is quite a claim, and I made it because there are pictures floating around of the two of them at a costume party, and Nish dressed as Jason, and Jason dressed as Nish.
They have similar hairstyles.
They do, and I imagine that was the impetus for doing
Yeah,
their
where it's
costume
just kind of
swap.
like a big curly thing. They just
It's
kind of
just
let
a big
happen.
curly thing going on,
It's a
and
big curly thing.
that's what's happening, and it's not going to stop. I also watched a couple of movies. I watched a movie called Conclave.
Oh, I want to see that. I've heard it's good.
I liked it a lot. It was very much a sort of political thriller movie. At least that's how it felt. So if you like movies about elections or politics or secrets, you might enjoy Conclave. I thought it was good. I thought it had good performances. It's got your Stanley Tucci. You
Ooh,
got
the
your...
Tooch is in it. Also,
Yeah.
like Ralph Fiennes is
Ray
in it.
Fiennes is in it.
Ray Fiennes, not Ralph.
And John Lithgow, who I am mad at, but I will allow him.
Why are you mad at John Lithgow?
Because everyone says he's going to be Dumbledore in this stupid Harry Potter series on HBO.
Oh, really?
Vanessa hates it
Yeah.
when actors take roles to make money.
I
We
hate it
talked
when
about
actors take
Lithgow
roles
on
to
the
make
stream
money.
last night, and it's because Lithgow is currently in a psychological horror movie that I want to see, where he plays a man in like a nursing home who has a doll and terrorizes other nursing home residents with his doll. That sounds like a movie that I want to see.
Is it
I think
Raising
John
Cain
Lithgow
too?
would make
John, you're
a
muted.
phenomenal Dumbledore, and I do not want to discuss that in the context of the author and her current terrible political takes.
Hey guys, what's your favorite John Lithgow role?
Harry. No, the Hendersons and
Really?
Harry
Harry and the
Henderson.
Hendersons?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, he sucks.
Matt, what's your favorite John Lithgow? Oh, Vanessa, what's your favorite John Lithgow role?
I never saw him play Tartuffe, but I always thought he'd be really good at it. So my favorite John Lithgow role is my fan casting of him as Tartuffe in the play Tartuffe.
Okay. My favorite John Lithgow role is when he was in a Progresso soup commercial, and he took a bite of Progresso soup and said, "Progresso soup," and then did a commercial line, and it was a good performance. Matt, what's
My
yours?
favorite John Lithgow role is
My favorite John Lithgow role.
John Whitgow.
When he
Got
plays the
Rico.
villain Cliffhanger, and he's fantastic. And
Oh,
he plays
he's
against
so
Psych.
good in Cliffhanger, dude.
He's Fred Cliffhanger, and he's so good.
He's Cliff R. Hanger. Cliffhanger has maybe one of the best opening scenes I've ever seen in
God,
English.
Cliffhanger's a
Rico
fun
and
movie. Like, I
Cliffhanger.
wouldn't call it good, but I would call it a good ass time.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Sorry, Vanessa, we totally co-opted your
No,
love
it's
load.
totally fine.
We did
I
that
love
with
you too.
everything else she's done tonight, so she's used to
We've
it.
done that with everything we've all done.
And the other movie
That's why
I
this
saw.
episode's 2 hours and 22 minutes long.
The other movie I
Sorry.
saw, and this was a very special experience for me because it was my first 4D movie experience. Was Mickey 17 in the
What
4D
is
theater.
4D? Like, are they shaking your seats around, or are you smelling
Yeah.
farts, or what's going on?
I've
both.
done those shaky seat shows, and it is distracting. In fact, I think
Yeah.
I saw Alien Romulus like that just because it was the only like reserved seating option for me, and I just wanted to see it, and I didn't care, and I had to turn it all down to the lowest setting. Just like, leave me alone.
The first
Yeah.
time I got COVID was when I went and saw the most recent Matrix movie, and it was in one of those D-box theaters where they jostle your seat around.
Yeah, this
You would
was.
have gotten
it was
COVID more than any human I've known.
It's because
I'm
he won't
immune to
stop
it, I
going
think.
out. He loves it. This was
the theater,
a
the theater
very
loves me.
jostly seat. More jostly than I expected. And so it jostles you. It has giant fans that blow cold air on you during cold scenes. It had a snow effect that sort of came down in front of the screen.
Really? Oh, in front of the screen? I thought it was going to be on your body.
I wanted it on my body, but it was isolated to the front of the theater. It has like air in the headrest that will shoot air past you, like if bullets go off. Usually.
Whoa,
It's like
cool.
zoop, zoop, zoop. It has a little piece of plastic that's like a zip tie strip that goes in between your ankles, and it sometimes whips back and forth to tickle your ankles.
I would fucking
Oh,
hate that.
that reminds me of seeing Alien Romulus, and there was one scene that was in like 0G where the where
Oh,
the
the best
seat
scene in the
was
movie.
like both lifting me up, but also like sitting on like a pillow of air or something. Where I really did for a moment feel like I was in like 0G enough that it really fucked me up.
Yeah, the
But not in a
seat
bad
did
way.
that as well in a outer space scene. And then it will occasionally poke you in the back. Like it has two pokey bits that poke out of the seat to poke you in the back. I'd experienced things like this before in a theme park, but never in a movie situation. And it was, I felt, too much.
Too much, yeah.
Well, movies aren't made to be seen this way, and so
Yeah.
I feel like with a piece of media that's not like specifically designed to be synchronized with a seat, it just kind of feels like you're watching a movie while someone rattles you around.
Yeah, when I saw The Matrix, it was like, hey, watch this cool action scene, but also let it jostle you around so that like you can't focus on the movie anymore.
Yeah, I think
It's
I might have been.
it takes me out of the movie.
Yeah, I might have been more okay with it if I wasn't being jostled, but the way these seats were set up, it's like 4 per section, so you can't like unjostle your own seat. Matt has a question. Is it about whether or not it squirted me in the face? Because I do have an
My
answer
question
to that.
is, are you going to let Johnny ask his question?
Oh, okay. Johnny, you have a question. Is it about whether or not it squirted me in the face? Because I do have an answer for that.
No, I haven't done one of these yet. One of these like 4D movies. I feel like, do you feel like it would only be good for like an Avatar or something that really is kind of a roller coastery ride?
No. But I would say if it's something that is...
I don't believe you were asked this question, Jim.
Sorry.
I don't think that he
You're
did
right.
direct his question, actually. But I will answer it before Jim gets a chance.
Yeah.
The friend I saw this with had gone to see Twisters and enjoyed that. So maybe something like that. But I still feel like it needs a bespoke film to match it. Jim, we're ready for your answer to that.
Yeah,
question.
sorry. I was going to say, if you're going to see a comedy and you're paying the $25 a seat for a D-Box, you're wasting your money because it's mostly trying to mimic like the physical things that are happening in the film. Like if somebody gets like blown through a wall, like it wants to mimic the impact of that. And like the big sound, like bass sound, Dolby stuff, like it kind of mimics in the physicality of the seats. So like it's probably got to be at least an action movie.
As for please ask me about whether or not it squirted me in the face.
Did it squirt you in the face, Vanessa?
No, there was the squirter nozzle there, and there was a button where you could toggle the squirt on or off. I left it on, but it didn't squirt me. And in fact, I've heard that like
Vanessa loves a squirter.
places have had trouble with like their squirt tubes not being cleared out enough, and there's concerns.
Vanessa
that it might spread
desperately
germs.
wanted to be squirted in the
ew.
face and was disappointed when it didn't
I
happen.
was disappointed that it didn't squirt me. As
You,
for the
listen,
movie,
if there's a publicly available like squirting apparatus, don't use it. Only use home-based squirt machines.
that's pretty good advice. As for
Wait.
yes.
No, I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt your whole thing.
Or just email me. I'll be your home-based squirt machine.
Gross.
You can cut that if you want.
No,
As
I
for the
don't want to do that. In fact, I would like to cut that out and send it to Amanda and see what she thinks.
Sign up for our Patreon.
As for the film itself, Mickey 17, I thought it was okay. I didn't feel like it brought a whole lot of new stuff to the sci-fi genre. I did think it was pretty timely with some of its themes. It had the sort of weirdness that you might expect from the director of Snowpiercer.
No,
Kind of a
the director
Snowpiercer
of... It's not the director of Snowpiercer. It's...
Snowpiercer and Parasite. The
Yep.
guy directed both of those movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's
Okay.
Bong Joon-ho.
I thought that
Bong
Parasite
Joon-ho.
was his only other movie.
Nope.
No,
He also did
he's
Snowpiercer.
done a bunch of movies. His earlier Korean crime films are so good.
Yeah, and he's sort of like a, your David Lynch's.
He's
very
a real
distinct-
like auteur.
Yeah, he's an auteur.
It is Bong Joon-ho. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I thought that Robert Pattinson did a really good job in the titular role. He's kind of this not overly bright fella, and I think he did a good job of conveying that. And of course, I was delighted that it co-starred my number one celebrity crush, Tim Key, as a
In
pigeon.
more of the movie than you expect.
More than you would expect, because no one is
Yeah.
ever expecting any of him.
Also,
So,
his character kind of doesn't make sense because he's introduced as basically like a MAGA guy, but also he's in the movie all the way through the like MAGA guy getting usurped, which I guess spoilers, but like he's there all the way through the movie, which like kind of doesn't make sense for his character, but it's fine.
Yeah, but it makes sense for my heart.
Yeah.
Johnny, when you were gone wandering around, I did try to encourage you to go see Nish Kumar. He's coming to Vancouver, BC. Why don't you go to the show? You love political humor.
Vanessa, while
looking-
you were talking on and on about Mickey 17, I wanted to hear your take on Twisters.
Oh, yes, I did watch
Oh.
Twisters. Thank you for reminding me. I put Twisters on. I don't know if I watched it so much as it was happening. I thought it was okay. I thought it was very weird that they were trying to convince me that the lead male and female characters had any kind of romantic
Yeah.
tension at all.
Yep.
Because it seemed like an adult man and his perhaps niece that he took on.
I
the
thought
field.
the lead female character was good, but she was not putting out any sexuality in her performance. Like,
No.
there was nothing like sexual or attractive about what she was doing in the movie. Which, like,
Yeah, no,
I was
I
like,
didn't-
why is this like bro shit kicker of a guy like interested in this woman? It just
Right.
didn't make any sense.
And I think that I looked it up because I was so sort of put off by it, and I think the actress is like 28 or something, and he's, I don't know, 40, near 40s. So technically both adults, but she is very short and he's very tall, and I felt like she was playing
How
younger.
tall is Glenn Powell?
I don't know, but much taller than this girl lady.
Okay.
And it was okay. Yeah, I will say, if you, like me, don't listen to a lot of country music, and you're like, how can I get in all my, like, years worth of listen to country music in one sitting? This is the movie for it, because there were not 5 minutes that would go by without a needle drop of, like, here in
It
Oklahoma,
sucks.
we love
Country has
storms
gotten-
and being free.
Look, I'm not the biggest country fan in general, but I think there's a lot of really good country music out there. And I think that country has gotten so bad that it is unfucking standable. Like, don't
Free
even.
in my truck in Oklahoma, there's a twister coming to me.
I mean, you listen to
Although-
old Johnny Cash, and that shit's fantastic. And I even like old George Strait and Garth Brooks. But boy, country today is just a big
There
old
is some-
fart.
I will say there is some decent alt country out there if you listen to Sturgill Simpson, or if you want to go a little more like rock-ish but still country, listen to Lucero.
Mm-hmm.
But most country is terrible.
And then
I'm a
there's
big
Rita,
fan.
Modern
Rita
pop country
McEntire's
is hot
The time
garbage.
the lights went down in Georgia, which is just a roller coaster ride the whole time.
That is exactly what I was going to bring up, Johnny. I'm a big fan of the sort of gothic country, or it's
I
kind of
love that
called
too.
American
Yeah.
Southern Gothic. Basically, any song that tells a story. There's Lights Went Down in Georgia. There's Billy Joe McAllister.
Yeah,
or
I was going to say
it's called
that
Ode to Billy
Tallahatchie.
Joe.
Yeah, the Tallahatchie
Yeah.
Bridge.
Amazing, great song. I love gothic country. I even like Earl Had to Die, which is more of a
Oh, I
that's
like that song,
That's Goodbye Earl. That's
Yeah,
what that's,
yeah.
that's the
Is
title
that,
of
Is
the
that
song.
the
Dixie
Dixies
Chicks?
or the Chicks?
That
or-
is
was.
Dixie Chicks, but also has one of the best covers ever from Me First and the Gimme
Yeah,
Gimmes.
that's true.
That
That's
is
the third time
an
we brought that
insanely good
band
cover. Yeah, that's good stuff.
It is an insanely
so-
good cover.
There is good country out there, but not in this Twisters film.
No, no.
You're going to hear something else if you listen to that. I think
And
that,
that's-
Matt, you described the lead character as definitely having a red hat in his glove
Mm-hmm.
box. And I do agree.
So
Is
was
that
that
a
the
man
real
of my
thing?
life
Is there
that drives
really,
a
like, a-
lifted truck that blares that has such big speakers in his truck that you can hear his country music from a mile away, that does not have a red hat in his glove
Yeah,
box.
he also
or
was like
or
really
a fuck
obsessed.
Trudeau sticker in Canada.
Yeah, he was really obsessed with attacking this lead female character from being from New York City. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, you're from New York City. You
New
don't
It's
York
also
know
like
City.
a
this.
weird, like, what, you believe in science stuff? I just
Yeah.
chase the tornadoes around in my truck. The
They
movie
sort of
sucks.
tried
That's
to
the-
like
that's the real
soften
answer.
his character by surrounding
They
him
kind
by
of
like
try to
alt
do both.
kids.
Was like, I'm a guy that just follows the weather, but also let me contribute to your statistical models about how tornadoes are formed.
Yeah.
No,
It
it
doesn't
definitely
make any
has like
sense.
the magic powers of the modern conservative, where he can just smell a tornado from a mile away or something.
Also, I love that he has a super truck that can withstand anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
I actually did like that he had like drills built into his truck that would.
He had augers on his truck that would drill into the ground.
That was kind of a fun idea. But you know what? That movie's garbage. Anyway.
It was
Moving
garbage.
on.
I will give a shout out to Anthony Ramos, one of my very special little theater Broadway boys, who was also in the film, and it made no sense that he was not the romantic.
Is he a
co-lead.
Hamilton guy?
He's a Hamilton guy. He's
Okay,
a,
that's what I
Recognized him from the last Transformers movie.
That's how
John
I
is holding up a
into-
Get Snacking Subway ad because he wants this to be done so bad. And
I
so
was
do
looking
I,
at the coupons. I was looking at the
because I would
selection
like
of
to not
coupons.
have to edit 4 hours of podcasts. So shut up and move on.
All right, Matt.
You're
who
angry.
hasn't
how did?
gone? I guess
I already leveled up.
Oh, everyone.
It's my turn.
Oh,
You don't get a turn.
Okay.
You didn't play the game. You don't get a turn.
no,
I think
come
that's how
on,
it
Jim.
works.
Jim, level up real fast.
We can skip me if you guys want.
No,
I do.
just fast. Do
Yeah,
it
no, I
fast.
definitely do.
We're running on 3 hours.
I will
so.
say though, like since I'm not done talking about Mickey 17, Jim, what did you think of that film?
Oh, I did watch Mickey 17. I thought it was a little bit too long. I liked it. I thought Robert Pattinson was great in it, but I feel like everything around Robert Pattinson didn't work very well, but Robert Pattinson's character did work. Like his girlfriend didn't really work for me. Everything that was going on with who's the political guy?
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo and his
Nish Kumar.
wife. That was weird. Didn't really work for me very well. I don't know. Like I liked the movie overall, but Robert Pattinson really grounded it, and everything else was kind of just like I don't know that I understand what's happening.
I want to see it.
Yeah, but I thought the tone of it and the ending was good. It didn't really feel like it knew what it wanted to say about Robert Pattinson's whole deal where he died and got reprinted again with the same memories. Like it didn't really do anything with that premise. But I thought it was fine. And I also saw the movie Honora, which is about a prostitute that meets a rich Russian kid that says he wants to marry her, and about that like whole 3 weeks in their lives, and it was super good. I can see why it won Best Picture, and I can see why Mikey Madison won Best Actress, because that is a really good movie, and it's very well directed, and all the performances in it are super good. It has like probably like if you're judging, like, I will say all the characters in that movie are great. There's not a character that's wasted in that movie, which is good. And I'm still enjoying Daredevil. I thought the most recent episode was really good. And I think that's it for me.
Great.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. Before we go, I'd like to remind everyone that we do have a Patreon. It's at patreon.com/SquareRootsPodcast. This month, we are having a very special bonus episode about Elite Beat Agents, the infamous, according to Johnny, 3DS. Is it a DS or 3DS game?
It's a DS game.
It's a DS game, so we will be talking about that before the end of March. We also have a lot of level up episodes, movie review episodes, Square Roots Versus episodes. There's a lot of stuff on the Patreon, so if you'd like to listen to that, you can sign up at patreon.com/SquareRootsPodcast. If you sign up at the $3 level, you get access to all that content. If you subscribe at the $5 level, you get access to all that content, plus the ability to vote on the games that we play on the show. The next game, as we've stated, is Grandia 2. Not a vote game, but the game after that will be. So tune in for that. Grandia 2 won't be a super long series. It's
Why?
kind of like...
Oh.
It's kind of... I really don't think so. It's very, like, sectioned off, like... town, dungeon, town, dungeon, town, dungeon. So we can get through it pretty quick, I think. But the game after Grandia 2 will be a vote. So if you'd like the ability to vote on the games we play on the show, like I said, $5, patreon.com/SquareRootsPodcast. Another benefit of being a patron is that we do like to personally thank our patrons, some of our patrons on the show. I will kick us off this week by thanking Anthony Lerma, mostly rational person, Eric Pidcamini, respectable name, Chris Sasaki, T. Bumpkins, Nofford, Kodab Games, John Scala, and Julie.
I'd like to thank Gage, Lasharite, Andy M, Wedge Coon, Wake Up Call, Make It Happen, Stephen Paget, David Arnold, Jordan Mims, Chad Wilson, Tracy, the Borg Queen, and Daniel Wood.
I'd like to thank Amanda Douglas, Ward Childress, J-Bone, Sean Walsh, Jake Dickerson, Cerulean, Feifong Dong, Tracy, Hayden Neff, and Ari Corpivara.
And I would like to thank Garrett of Tivia, the Fletcher,
Filcher.
Doom Train. I'm sorry, Filcher, not Fletcher. That's something else. Garrett of Tivia, the Filcher, Doom Train, Brian Pitt, Worked Muffin, Sexy Grandma's Retirement Home, Ross Hartley, Notice Me, Matt Senpai, Matt Senpai, Matt Senpai, Matt, notice me, notice
Oh,
me.
Matt, you have a fan out there.
Mm-hmm.
Who is
Notice
it?
me, Matt. Jesse's Mom's Pizza, Josh Rose, and Arthur A.
All right, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to send us an email, our email address is squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. If you want to, if you're still on Facebook, you can join our Facebook group,
Don't say
Square
all
Roots Podcast.
judgy like that. Some people are on
It is
Facebook.
very judgy. Square Roots Podcast group for smart, cool, very attractive people on Facebook. Or find us on Blue Sky.
Oh, yeah, we haven't
at
checked that in a while.
squarerootspod.b yeah, we haven't. At squarerootspod.bsky.social. Or email us. I think the most really where it's at for this podcast is on the Discord. So if you'd like an invite to the Discord, email us squarerootspodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, we'll send you one. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, Ghana, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on YouTube. Links are in the show notes.
I think, honestly, this has been one of the best/worst episodes of this podcast.
It's been really good. I'm sorry we didn't
really
get to
all over
emails
the
because
place.
we have such a sweet email to read, but
Oh,
Next
wait,
time.
you have an email to read?
Nope, next time.
no.
Thank
All right,
you
next time.
for the Square Roots
Goodbye.
Podcast. I'm Matthew Van Zant.
I'm Johnny Hitler Brandon.
I'm Vanessa Bon Vivant.
And I'm Jim.
Bye.
Bye. Bon Vivant.
Also joined by Johnny Third Reich Brandon.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
No.
Sorry.
I'm not.
Sorry,
Bleep that out, Matt.